हेलो हेलो चैट, वी आर लाइव एंड हम आए लाए हैं बहुत ही जल्द सुबह सुबह। गुड मॉर्निंग चेस। सॉरी सागर भाई, वी हैड टू स्टील योर टाइटल बिकॉज और कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है। इतना जल्दी मंडे मॉर्निंग स्ट्रीम मैंने लाइफ में कभी नहीं किया होगा यार। चैट, कैन यू हियर मी, सी मी, लेट मी नो इफ एवरीथिंग इज ऑसम। हेयर स्टाइल की मेरी लगी हुई है बट ठीक है, चेस के लिए इट इज गुड इनफ। यो यो चैट, व्हाट्स अप भाई। कल थैंक यू राकेश भाई फॉर हैंडलिंग द स्ट्रीम। आई एम बैक एंड मीनवाइल आई थिंक हम दोनों गेम्स देखेंगे। एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई थिंक टू सेट द कॉन्टेक्स्ट, आपकी किस में क्या, कौन कितना पानी में है, एक बार स्टैंडिंग्स हो जाए समय भाई, जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कौन कहां है एंड किस चीज के लिए हम खेल रहे हैं फाइनल राउंड में। सो चैट, कल अर्जुन का ड्रॉ हुआ, बेहरली ड्रॉ किया उन्होंने इन दैट फोर्ट्रेस रुक वर्सेस बिशप वर्सेस रुक। एंड वहां पे वो बैठे हैं 4 पॉइंट पे अलॉन्ग विद नोदरबेक, जिन्होंने पूरा का पूरा रुक ही दे दिया, मतलब फ्री का रुक दे दिया उन्होंने कल। ओ माय गॉड, दैट वाज हिलेरियस। आई डोंट नो इफ यू कैन प्ले दैट क्लिप। आई थिंक ग्लोबल ने वो वीडियो डाली है। इफ यू कैन हैव दैट क्लिप रेडी एंड प्लेड एट सम पॉइंट फ्रॉम यस्टरडे, दैट वुड बी अमेजिंग। बट ऑफ कोर्स दो प्लेयर अभी लीड में है। वन इज ऑफ कोर्स मदमिनोव एंड वन इज ऑफ कोर्स वोकिडोव। सो वो दोनों बैठे हैं 5 पॉइंट पे। इफ यू कैन हैव द स्टैंडिंग्स अगेन, सो अगर उनमें से किसी का भी ड्रॉ भी होता है देन अर्जुन कैन नॉट विन द इवेंट। सो यहां पे जो टाई ब्रेक हुआ था लास्ट ईयर, जहां प्राग नोदिरबेक सिंदारोव खेले थे, उसमें इंडियंस तो डेफिनेटली होंगे। सो द आइडियल सेटअप इज वोकिदोव मदमिनोव लूज। सो वोकिदोव लूजेस टू नोदिरबेक एंड मदमिनोव लूजेस टू हु इज ही प्लेइंग अगेंस्ट हैंड्स। सो उस सिचुएशन में वोकिदोव मदमिनोव 5 पे रह जाएंगे। देन वो कहां है? अच्छा, ममिद्यारोव विल पोटेंशियली, हाँ, मोमिद्यारोव और इयान का ड्रॉ होना चाहिए। मोमिद्यारोव ऑल्सो गेट्स टू 5 एंड देन उसके बाद 4 वे 5 पॉइंट पे टाई। देन अर्जुन ऑल्सो विंस। देन 5 वे 5 पॉइंट पे टाई। बट बाय द वे वी हैव ह्यूज अपडेट, वन रिजल्ट ऑलरेडी। व्हाट? Vidit Gujarati has drawn his game. भाई दिस इज द शॉर्टेस्ट गेम फॉर Vidit. लेट्स हैव अ लुक भाई। गेम स्टार्ट ही नहीं करी हमने, खत्म भी हो गई। ये क्या हो गया? समय भाई क्राइंग इन द बैकग्राउंड। भाई निम्जो क्वीन c2 था, which Vidit has already played in this tournament once. So याकुबोव के लिए प्ले करना काफी आसान रहा होगा। बिशप d2 takes e3 d5 a3, बिशप पे ले लिया। ब्लैक को मिला टेम्परली एक पॉन। बिशप b4, क्वीन c6, क्वीन टेक c4, मार मार के एंड गेम में आए वेयर व्हाइट इज स्लाइटली बेटर। बट लेकिन ये बिशप मरने के बाद ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज नो चांस इफ यू टेक ऑन g7, रुक g8, हमारा g2 मरेगा व्हिच इज ओनली बेटर फॉर ब्लैक। सो ये नहीं करेंगे। सो आता रुक c1 टेक्स एंड इस पोजीशन में ऑफ कोर्स मैन देयर इज नथिंग टू प्ले फॉर बोथ साइड्स। आई थिंक नॉट अ सरप्राइज कि दे एक्चुअली टुक अ ड्रॉ। And of course, king पर end game में खेल सकते थे, but Vidit didn't want to calculate it, and he do in the rook end game itself. So Vidit Gujarati has already drawn his game. लेकिन इसका मतलब है कि भाई he is gonna actually finish below 2700 और यही चीज आ जाएगी बस। So 2700 से नीचे पे ही टूर्नामेंट खत्म करेंगे वो। ये सैड न्यूज है विदित के लिए भाई, बट या at least he ends on 3.5. And if Arjun want to win, he will not finish in last place. At least start से जो अंत है वो अंत बेटर रहा। So with by quick finish, there it is भाई। चैट देख रहे हो मतलब क्या क्रेजी गेम खत्म हो रही है। अब हमें जाएंगे एक बार दोबारा स्टैंडिंग्स पे, बिकॉज समझना बहुत जरूरी है कि भाई याकुबोव कहां पहुंचे। बिकॉज याकुबोव आ चुके हैं भाई 4 पॉइंट पे। सो उनका टूर्नामेंट खत्म होता है, विद का टूर्नामेंट खत्म होता है, ठीक है। सो वो दोनों हटा दो। थियोदोरू भाई 5 पॉइंट पे नहीं पहुंच सकते, उनका भी टूर्नामेंट खत्म कर दो, ठीक है। सो 7, 8, 9, 10 4 रैंक वाले 5 पॉइंट पे नहीं आ सकते। अब बाकी 6 के 6 पे रकम देखें। वोकिदोव can lose to, for example, Nodirbek, who will join him on 5 points. Madaminov can lose to Hans Niemann, who will of course not go to 5. So Hans Niemann बाहर हो गया, तो Vokidov can still remain on 5. उसके बाद Mamidyarov and Ian can draw. Both can go to 5 points. And Arjun can defeat Nicholas and he can also go to 5 points. So technically, we could have a 6-way tie on 5 points. That will be hilarious. अगर ऐसा हो गया तो वो टाई ब्रेक तो पूरा का पूरा अपना टूर्नामेंट ही हो जाएगा भाई। So UzChess Part 2, remake incoming soon, अगर ऐसा कुछ हो गया भाई। So मजा आएगा। Of course that's unlikely chat, फिलहाल के लिए मतलब slightly better even, तो नहीं होगा ऐसा, बट हो गया तो मजा आ जाएगा। Now वीडियो खत्म हो चुकी है। So let's go to Arjun's game, who is playing Nicholas Theodoru, जो कल नोदिरबेक से क्रेजी गेम जीते। I really wanna, if we can have that clip ready, will be amazing। वो एक मोमेंट दिखाना चाहेंगे। E4 E5 आज की गेम अर्जुन की अगेंस्ट निकोलस। नाइट F3 नाइट F6 पेट्रॉफ के लिए निकोलस ऑलरेडी कह रहे हैं कि आई एम ओके विद द ड्रॉ, नॉट नेसेसरली विद द ड्रॉ, बट एटलीस्ट एक सेफर ओपनिंग चॉइस। 95 D6, 94 D4, बिशप D3। अब C4 का प्लान यूजुअली यहां रहता है टू चैलेंज दिस नाइट, बट ब्लैक ने नाइट को पिन कर दिया। सो रुक E1, अगर यहां पे नाइट D4 खेलते हो फॉर एग्जांपल यूजिंग दिस पिन ऑन द नाइट, वाइट कैन जस्ट टेक ऑन E4 एंड मारने के बाद भाई ये नाइट ऐसे हैंगिंग रहेगा, सो दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। सो आता है यहाँ पे बिशप E7, अब पॉन को डिफेंड किया C3, F5, क्वीन B3, कैसल्स, एंड अगर यहां क्वीन टेक्स B7 मारते हो दैट्स वेरी वेरी रिस्की, बिकॉज ब्लैक कैन नाउ टेक ऑन F3 एंड सडनली आपका किंग साइड बहुत वीक हो चुका है, ये एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट डजंट मैटर एट ऑल। सो आता है यहाँ नाइट टू डिफेंड द नाइट। अब आता है knight a5, queen c2, knight c6, and he's technically offering a draw. If Arjun wants a draw with queen b3, he has it. But Arjun nahi lenge draw by. He plays the best move, the second alternative best move, pawn to b4, and अब Nicholas यहाँ पे सोच रहे हैं भाई. So crazy भाई. मतलब Arjun fighting on, Vidit takes a quick draw. I think I would have loved to see a tougher fight. And chat, Monday morning, सुबह 12, 12:30, 12:15, आज तक कभी स्ट्रीम नहीं करी हमने आई थिंक। सो भाई आप लोग कहां कहां से ज्वाइन करें बता दो भाई, वुड लव टू नो कि भाई कौन कौन चिल कर रहा है मंडे मॉर्निंग। भाई वी आर द ट्रू फ्रेंड्स भाई, बिकॉज हम लोग मंडे को चिल कर सकते हैं भाई। गुकेश सीम्स इन डेंजर फॉर वर्ल्ड चेस चैंपियनशिप, आई एग्री, आई एब्सोल्युटली एग्री, बट लेकिन पता है गुकेश हैज हिज नैक ऑफ कमिंग इनटू फॉर्म फॉर द राइट इवेंट, जब जब व्हेन इट मैटर्स ही स्ट्राइक्स, उसका एक स्किल है भाई। कोल्हापुर की गोवा भाई, दोनों जगह लिख दिया आपने। मंडे फॉर साहिल भाई, दादर भाई, हवेली, म्यूनिक, कुरुक्षेत्र भाई, आप लोग भाई वी आर द ट्रू फ्रेंड्स भाई, मजा आ गया भाई। भाई आज चिल करने के लिए लोग हैं, आप डिस्कशन करेंगे भाई, कुछ भी सवाल जो पूछना है पूछो भाई, गप्पे मारते एंजॉय करते हैं भाई। आज तो फाइनल डे है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स इफ वी हैव अ 6-way 5-way tie, that will be the cherry on the cake. Why so early? Because tournament timings. I wish it was not ending on a Monday morning. But, chat, by the way, कल मैं क्यों नहीं आया? Basically, I wanted to experiment with some forms of content. And one of them was a vlog. मैंने कभी लाइफ में खास कुछ एक बार जिंदगी में vlog बनाया था. I wanted to try it out. ठीक समझ रहे हो? As an experiment. And मैं रात को नींद नहीं आई सैटरडे नाइट को, सो आई वाज सो ग्रम्पी इन दैट व्लॉग की वो फुटेज देख के मुझे उल्टी आ रही है. सो आई डोंट थिंक I'm going to upload it anywhere, unfortunately. But I did record that vlog. And thoda bahut jitna ho paya, because I was so grumpy. And I did also watch a movie yesterday. And I watched wo wali, kya naam hai? Obsession. Bhai, kya faadu movie hai bhai. Oh my God. Highly recommended bhai. Do go and watch it. Chahe vlog record karo na karo, but go and watch that movie bhai. Oof. भाई क्या मतलब, like people scream. There was one scene जहां पे you will see people scream in the hall, which is very very rare. Amazing movie भाई, मजा आ गया भाई। पहली बार मतलब आई डिडंट मिस स्ट्रीमिंग, इट वाज दैट गुड अ मूवी। उल्टी कर दो भाई, यूट्यूब पे ही करते हैं सब। अरे नहीं नहीं यार, उल्टी कर देंगे तो यार ऐसे नहीं चलेगा यार, खतरनाक मूवी भाई। No spoil, no spoilers, man. No spoilers. Just absolutely amazing. Like no ghosts, nothing, but so tension filled. मजा आ गया। By the way, A6 played, so prevents B5, because chat plan could be to play B5 and then put this knight on E5, and then the second knight supports, and at some point F3. Once this knight, for example, let's say rook B8, B5, knight के पास तो trap ही हो गया, but let's say knight A5, now knight E5 and F3 पे piece मर रहा है. And of course, second knight incoming. And this is very, very bad. So going back, this is the current position, chat. You want 6-way tie? Are that will be crazy, man. Which is next tournament we're going to stream? The next tournament will be क्या नाम है ये, Bullet Chess Championship. That will start on 23rd or 24th. I'm not clear on the date. I think 24th है. But regardless, it will start next week. एक हफ्ते का रफली टाइम है हमारे पास। उसमें निहाल, सरीन, अर्जुन खेलेंगे अगेंस्ट द फिरूजा ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। सो बहुत शार्प होगा। एंड बुलेट चेस है भाई, तो मजा आएगा। बोला था आपने, बोला था क्या भाई? मैंने आपका कमेंट शायद मुझे याद नहीं है, बट भाई व्हाट अ फ्रीकिंग मूवी। लाइक मतलब इट वाज क्रेजी, मतलब अमेजिंग फाड़ू मूवी भाई। लाइक नॉट सीन समथिंग लाइक दिस बिफोर। वेलकम बैक टिकू भाई। बहुत अरे 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 a day, one day felt 1 hour without अरे अरे वेलकम बैक भाई, मजा आ गया। रैपिड एंड ब्लिट्स नहीं, दैट इज बुलेट चेस बाय द वे, जो बीसीसी होगा। एंड उसके बाद अगला होगा जीसीटी रैपिड एंड ब्लिट्स, दैट्स फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ जुलाई। एंड उसके बाद अगला होगा आई थिंक चेन्नई जीएम। चेन्नई जीएम को पता नहीं है बाय द वे इफ यू आर डूइंग और नॉट, बट होगा मोस्ट लाइकली। आई एम होपिंग इट विल वर्क आउट इन सम शेप। इन विच लैंग्वेज डिड यू वॉच? इंग्लिश भाई, ऑफ कोर्स। यार हिंदी मूवी, इंग्लिश मूवी ना हिंदी में देखी नहीं जाती, मतलब बिकॉज जो शक्ल है और जो आवाज है मैच नहीं करती यार। इमेजिन टॉम क्रूज बात कर रहा है भाई ना, टॉम क्रूज वो सानू क्या लगता है यार, क्या कर देंगे आप यार? नहीं यार, नहीं नहीं, सॉरी ब्रो, सॉरी। गला कैसा है? फीलिंग बेटर भाई, गले की लगी हुई है भाई, बिकॉज वी हैड सो मेनी इवेंट्स बैक टू बैक. सो आई थिंक लाइक थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, बट या बट एटलीस्ट एक हफ्ता थोड़ा रेस्ट मिलेगा भाई इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्ट्रीमिंग एटलीस्ट गले को. एकदम लैंग्वेज फील ओरिजिनल, एग्जैक्टली भाई, एग्जैक्टली, बिकॉज पीपल वो ऑफ कोर्स एआई डबिंग विल मेक इट अ बिट डिफरेंट, लाइक एटलीस्ट लिपसिंग तो मैच करेगी एट सम पॉइंट विद द ऑडियो, बट स्टिल वो फीलिंग नहीं आती है. मतलब कोई बंदा बोलते हैं यूएस से है, वो बंदा हिंदी में बात कर रहा है, मतलब इट डजंट, इट फील्स फेक. आज इतना जल्दी? बिल्कुल भाई, टूर्नामेंट टाइमिंग ही ऐसी है. मतलब आई इन जनरल चैट आई फील एडवाइस टू टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइजर्स इफ दे आर लिसनिंग, लाइक मंडे इज अ वियर्ड डे टू फिनिश द टूर्नामेंट, वो भी मॉर्निंग में, बिकॉज यूएस वाले लोग अभी सो रहे हैं, यूरोप वाले लोग अभी उनके वहां पे 7 या 8 बज रहे हैं. लाइक आई फील इवन इफ वी हैड द बजट एंड सहज भाई वाज अवेलेबल, आज वो आते भी नहीं भाई. लाइक ऐसे लाइक यूरोप टाइमिंग नहीं बैठ रही, यूएस टाइमिंग नहीं बैठ रही, इंडिया के सारे लोग भी स्कूल और उसमें, लाइक वियर्ड टाइमिंग टू एंड द इवेंट आई फील लाइक इन जनरल. आई थिंक संडे मॉर्निंग इज परफेक्ट टाइम टू एंड, ऐसा मुझे लगता है, या फिर शाम को ही रखो. योर स्टाइल जस्ट नहीं, थैंक यू भाई, बट मेरा स्टाइल इज नथिंग कंपेयर टू स्टाइल ऑफ ऑब्सेशन भाई. आई एम ऑब्सेस्ड विद द मूवी, लाइक मतलब इट वाज क्रेजी मैन, क्रेजी मूवी. वी आर डूइंग एआई डबिंग फॉर अपकमिंग, अरे अरे अरे, दैट्स क्रेजी मैन, दैट्स इनसेन. साइबर, व्हाट डू यू थिंक हु विल विन? यार पता है, आई थिंक द प्रॉब्लम इज हमारे हाथ से खेल निकल चुका है. आई वेंट फॉर आरसीबी टिल 2 years 3 years बैक. आई फील लाइक खेल एक्चुअली मोखिदोव और मदमिनोव के बीच में है. If these guys don't lose, then we can't finish first. So what Arjun can basically do is just win his game. That's the thing in his hands. Um, so और कुछ कर नहीं सकते अपन लोग. Let's hope he wins this game. Rook b1 played again. Plan is b5. That's the goal. a4 and b5 is the plan for Arjun. Nicholas accuracy 100. या but ठीक है, पहली 10 साल तो मैं भी 100% accuracy पे खेल देता हूँ यार. Easy पीजी. कौन सी मूवी? आई मिस द नेम भाई. ऑब्सेशन भाई, गो एंड चेक इट आउट भाई, इनसेन मूवी. लाइक आई वुड से कि आई हैव नेवर सीन एनीथिंग लाइक दिस बिफोर, लाइक इन टर्म्स ऑफ जैसे डायरेक्शन है, लाइक दिस, वो कहाँ उन्होंने कितना लाइटिंग है, कहाँ पे खड़ा रखा है. देयर इज दिस वन टू सीन्स एक्चुअली, दे आर जस्ट लाइक insane, like insane. If you've seen the movie, all you know which scenes I'm talking about. One is headbang and one is hiding in the dark. You know what I'm talking about. Insane. Oof. Feel aa gayi bhai wo dekh ke. Oh, how did Vidit's game go in a draw? Bhai, I think that's a question we should ask Vidit. But I think maybe he wasn't, like he played an opening which he had played before. So his opponent was well prepared. And basically, uski wajah se, and maybe he didn't have anything new prepared against the same opening. So that's why he went for, something safe, which ended in a draw. And by the way, bhai, of course, like, ध्यान से जाना है. अगर अपनी गर्लफ्रेंड, वाइफ, बीवी, मॉम को लेके जा रहे हो तो चीखने के चांसेस बहुत हाई है. ध्यान से, हाँ. Be careful, Vishwa. Exactly. Two boards already have advantage. But I know. I think Mumidaro has a slight edge. Nodirbek has a slight edge. No, Nodirbek should win, by the way. This is in our favor. If Nodirbek wins, then Vokidov loses. Iska matlab chance hai कि Arjun could win and still finish in first place. And of course, from Nodirbek's perspective, chat, Nodirbek has been Uzbekistan number one for a while, for years now. Now Sindarov ahead of him wins the candidates and is going to play the world championship match. Now Vokidov ahead of him could win this event. So मेरे हिसाब से आई थिंक नोदरबेक वांट्स टू आल्सो प्रूव अ पॉइंट, राइट, कि भाई मैं उज़्बेक नंबर 1 हूं एंड आई वांट टू विन दिस इवेंट एट होम. सो आई थिंक उनके लिए विन बहुत बहुत जरूरी है एंड ही इज नॉट गोना मेक इट इजी. एंड कल के जो रिडिकुलस गेम के बाद, चैट, आई एम गोना शो यू दिस मूव. कल क्या हुआ नोदरबेक के साथ, चैट, ये पोजीशन थी, ठीक है, दिस वाज द पोजीशन यस्टरडे एंड Nodirbek touched his king. White played king g3 and Nodirbek touched his king and put it on d5 and just lost the rook. This is how he lost yesterday. Not kidding. This is a true story, bhai. Stranger than the movie Obsession, by the way. Bhai, kya hi move hai, bhai. Kya hi move hai. Wow. No spoilers, bhai. You don't understand what I'm talking about. Even if you know, you will not know what I'm talking about unless you've seen the movie. So stop shouting. Bro, look at the move and tell me, is it worth shouting for? सिने ग्राइंडर जी, आप ही बताइए भाई, ये क्या है भाई? व्हाट इज दिस? सो दिस इज हाउ ही लॉस्ट. सो इट्स इनसेन टू मी कि भाई ऐसे चल रहा है. सो गोइंग बैक टू नाउ द गेम ऑफ Nodirbek again, he has to win this game. He has to win this game for himself. So going to Arjun's game now, by the way, jahan pe ruk gaye, Nicholas is still thinking. Nicholas, by the way, has 2 wins in this tournament, crazy wins against Nodirbek from yesterday, and of course, hands in the tournament in the round 1 of this tournament. So, dekhte hain aaj kya hoga. So, which is the next tournament Gukesh Prag will play? Gukesh Prag will play GCD Zagreb, Rapid and Blitz. Divya ka next event, I think, is FIDE World Team Rapid and Blitz, right? Which is starting, I think, 2 days from now. We won't have the cameras for it. We won't be streaming, but she will be playing that event. By the way, Bishop D6 खेलते ही Nicholas की accuracy went from 100 to 99.2, and I think this is okay. It's a very logical move though, for many reasons. First of all, आपने E5 control कर दिया, so this I can potentially take. Second, the bishop is pointed towards the king side, so very logical. Third, the knight now gets a square on e7, जो पहले नहीं था जब bishop यहाँ था. So काफी logical move तो है. But of course, white can now play h3, kick the bishop back, and then also prepare, b5 slowly or directly. And ये d5 weakness थोड़ी सी दिख रही है, because now the queen doesn't defend the d5 pawn. So this could be a tactical nightmare for black as well. So देखते हैं कैसे जाएगा. In his mind, Nodirbek was sure Nicholas moved his rook to give him checks, so he proved it's going to be. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like whatever he thought, and you could see his eye play. Like वो होता है ना, like उसके eye movement Nodirbek की जो ऐसे अरे क्या करती भाई उसने देखा क्या उसने देखा. He was really shocked. He was just shocked कि भाई हो क्या गया. So I think it was funny to see Nodirbek for the first time stare in absolute fear, yeah, rather than confidence. What are Arjun's head-to-heads with Nicholas? I think they might not have played too much, is my guess. Because Nicholas top-level player nahi hai abhi. He's a strong contender to be one day, but right now not really. So itna games आपस में खेले नहीं होंगे. So any score, if it exists, will be like 1 or 2 games, which is not really a correct assessment of their head-to-head score. अरे यार design में आगे भाई बिल्कुल. I think come back and hopefully it will be entertaining today. Arjun भाई एक बढ़िया spicy गर्मा गर्म मसाले दाल मतलब whatever. Oh, we have that clip ready, by the way. Look at this clip, chat. Look at this clip by Nodirbek. कैसे उन्होंने कल रुक ब्लंडर किया. Look at this. King G3 खेलेंगे white. मेरी कमेंट्री जा रही है क्या समय भाई? हाँ, King G3 खेलेंगे white. And look at Nodirbek now. He writes down his move. ठीक है? आराम से. And then suddenly, instantly touches his king and realizes, wait, what? Wait, did he see it? Look at the eyes on the left of the player. Nicholas की आंखें देखो. Wait, what? Oh, ये अब क्या करूं भाई? Resigns. He looks at Nicholas. He knows he's busted. And they said, खत्म. Game खत्म. He can't believe what he just did yesterday, man. That clip was insane. Wow, he's like coming to terms with what he's just done and just resigns now. Look at this, bhai. What a moment. And reminds me of पता है गुकेश का ब्लंडर अगेंस्ट नोदिरबेक जब उसने फ्री का रुक दे दिया था ऐसे कुछ था. Oh, and he resigns. Wow, what a moment, man. What a moment. I think we did miss it because I think Indian games खत्म हो चुकी थी, so we might have missed it live yesterday. That's why I kind of wanted to show it कि क्या ही moment था कल भाई. Ridiculous. And by the way, b5 played, one of the best moves by Arjun. So Arjun still putting pressure. मारने के बाद rook takes and d5 pawn will be attacked now. Even Prague is playing FIDE World Team. Yes, he's playing. I think many Indians are also playing. In India, they have cut a lot of scenes options. I know they've cut a lot of scenes, but I think it was still an absolute treat to watch. I can highly recommend it, bhai. Sir, commentary is awesome. Thank you, Nana. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, chat. So sad luck for Nodirbek, of course, but आज वो जीतेंगे and मजा आएगा. And meanwhile, अब a takes b5 should be an automatic move for Nicholas. मतलब सोचने की जरूरत ही नहीं है इसमें तो. बस मार दो ये pawn. And rook takes के बाद, and there it is, he's taken it. Now bishop takes doesn't make much sense, I feel here, because bishop यहाँ पे आराम से बैठा हुआ है. So let's activate our rook. I think Arjun has already played it. I see it on the board, even though I don't see it on the 2D board. And now how do you defend this pawn? Okay, it's not a threat right now because rook takes d5 पे, there is bishop takes h2 chat. And you would win the rook. But it's in the air. It's in the air. होता है ना कई बार love is in the air and you feel the tension. तो black को भी वो tension feel हो रहा होगा यहाँ पे कि ये कभी मर सकता है. So he has to always keep it in his eyes, in his mind कि भाई ये pawn पे नजर रखनी है. And meanwhile, chat, Two scenes cut, one scene shortened, but it was worth the watch. It is absolutely worth the watch, by the way. I absolutely agree. And now Rook takes before ke baad, I think maybe knight a5 is the best move, which is not easy to play, chat, because of maybe the reason ki the knight is moving away from the center and c4 square anyway is not available, right? You can't put the knight here because it'll take and win a pawn. So from black's perspective, it's not always easy to put this knight here. He might still do so, but it will not be a move which will feel convincing for black, if it makes sense. Is there any free piece? Not really, because I mean everything is well defended. This pawn is right now hanging, and hence the move knight a5 to defend this pawn. Vidit drew, yes, we already covered that game, by the way. He already drew his game. Very, very quick draw, surprisingly, to be honest. And now, chat, the question is, what happens in this game? Nicholas कैसे defend करेंगे? If it is rook b8, for example, that's a passive move, right? Rook बहुत passive है. Rook belongs on the a file. Now, rook a7 might come to mind कि चलो मैं ऐसे defend करता हूँ. And that's a better version. But again, h3 के बाद, what can black do? Because अगर आपने यहाँ bishop f3 मार दिया, then I've gotten your bishop for the knight and all these light squares are weak. And if you play bishop h5, suddenly there's something very interesting that happens, chat. Look at this. Now you can take this. And suddenly after f takes e4, bishop takes e4, d takes e4, rook takes h5, e takes f3, there is queen takes h7 check, winning the game. There it is, by queen then he padegi because the king is cut off. So, what a crazy tactic. So, h3 khelte hi, bishop cannot go to h5 anymore. And look at this, black plays the second best move, king h8, getting out of this diagonal instantly. Now, let's go h3, Arjun. Have you seen Nepo's प्रेप अगेंस्ट हैंड्स? उन्होंने बोला कि वो कार्लसन के अगेंस्ट मैंने प्रेप करी थी. भाई कार्लसन के अगेंस्ट सरप्राइजिंगली लोगों की प्रेप काम करती नहीं है. आई डोंट नो व्हाई, क्यों काम नहीं करी कार्लसन के अगेंस्ट. But glad to know, yeah, he's playing good chess because he's very strong in general, and he's defeated some very, very strong players in this event. So he defeated Arjun, defeated Vidit, defeated many strong players. So I think glad to know he's in form. Chad, you can take on b7 now. So that's the question. So you can take on b7, but इसमें एक problem है. What do you do after I take the knight here? Very important. Because अगर आप queen या bishop से मारते हो, I'm gonna take on f3, and that's gonna be a scary, scary attack for black. Not worth this pawn at the very least. So knight takes d2 के बाद मुझे knight से मारना पड़ेगा, but black can anyway play queen h4 threatening this. And if knight to f1 to defend this, there is f4 and f3 aa hai, followed by queen h3, queen g2 mate. And this is extremely scary compensation for a pawn for black. So इसमें नहीं घुसना है हमें. So white should not take this pawn just yet. And he should first play h3, avoiding queen h4, queen takes h2 ideas. And after h3, अगर bishop चाहता है, then we can think about grabbing this pawn on b7. Yes, this is the last round. What's your field rating? My field rating, I think, is 2186 right now. आज जल्दी कैसे भाई? जल्दी इसलिए because टूर्नामेंट का टाइमिंग जल्दी है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Leaderboard, I think right now Vokidov and Madaminov are in the lead. But if they both lose, then potentially we could also have a 6-way tie or 5-way tie for the first place. Even that's a possibility. 6-way, I think, in fact. Is queen b3 possible? Again, king एक बार h8 पे जा चुका है. So queen b3 now doesn't hold any merit because I don't threaten this with check. Black can just play knight a5 or knight e7, defend this pawn. And it's a bit risky, right? Because queen कर क्या रही है b3 पे? Like there's no real threat. Are you in lead? Wow, भाई, ये तो philosophical question पूछ लिया आपने भाई. Is this last round? Yes, last round चल रहा है chat, and we will know who the leader is. Vidit's game has already ended, by the way. It's ended in a draw. So only one Indian playing right now. That is Arjun Erigaisi. You know, interesting है. Let's say Arjun wins and बाकी सारी game चल रही है. So we don't even know if Arjun will finish in the lead, right? So we can't even end the stream. So काफी interesting है. Unless Madaminov or Madaminov, Vokidov, either they draw or win, or Mamidyarov and Nepo win. जब ये होगा तभी we will know for sure कि Arjun cannot win the event. So आज बाकी results भी matter करते हैं actually. Vokidov is, by the way, roughly equal against Nodirbek, but Nodirbek पूरी कोशिश करेंगे win के लिए because he wants to win this event. And Madaminov is actually even slightly better. So I don't see Madaminov losing this. And look at this, what he played here, chat. This was the position. Knight takes e4 Maron, brilliancy. Knight takes e4, knight f3, bishop f3, queen h5. I don't know why Hans did this, but he's essentially a pawn down now, even though some compensation, but not much. So Hans slightly worse against Madaminov. Going to the Arjun game now. Let's see what's happened. No move by Arjun just yet. How many players are playing currently? I think 10 players, 2 players have already faced the game, so 8 players. Sahil, which was your longest stream? I think longest stream has been around 11 hours, right? I think we did one. जहाँ पे I think EWC was also one day 10 hours. जहाँ पे सुबह 6 बजे तक हम लोग वहीं थे. But I think they've been very, very long streams. But they've been very rare also. We won't be streaming Friday World Rapid and Blitz because we don't have the cameras for that one. So वो वाला हम नहीं करेंगे. But we'll be back for the next one, Bullet Chess Championship. I missed your yapping. I missed my yapping also, by. But I saw a movie yesterday with the idea of recording a vlog and whatever experiment to learn some stuff. And जो yapping मैंने उस movie में देखी है, oh my god, I can't tell you, brother. Go and watch Obsession. How did you eat in 10-hour stream? Good question. I think मौका मिल जाता है. There's usually some way we can go full. भाई जब भी full, sir, can we go full screen एक बार? Just want to show something to chat. So when we go full screen, आज सारे राज reveal कर देंगे हम लोग. Full screen में chat. If I am eating something or if I am talking to somebody, you will not even realize. So this is the perfect timing for somebody to eat. So when we go full screen, mostly it's of course to look at the games and the expressions, but कई बार it's just to eat something. So आज हम सारी secret reveal करने वाला हूं मैं आज. Okay, so let's come back to the full board for now. अभी कुछ crazy तो हो नहीं रहा expressions में. I think Madaminov will win. Yeah, it does look likely right now. Madaminov seems to have a great position, so Arjun के chances जीतने के बहुत कम है. But Arjun अपनी game तो जीते. At least let's do what we can do and बाकी किस्मत पे छोड़ देते हैं. By the way, I have a very interesting question. भाई Madaminov क्या इंसान है भाई? Look at the results he's had. He defeated Ian Nepomniachtchi, ठीक है. Then second round में he defeated Nicholas Theodoru. Then he lost to Vokidov and Yakubov, his countrymen. Then he defeated Mamidyarov. ठीक है. Then he defeated Vidit. ठीक है. Then he drew against Nodirbek. Then he drew against Arjun in a position which technically he should have literally won. Like he was just pushing throughout. Like, what is this guy eating? Brother, like, how is he so strong? It feels like his actual level is at least 2675, if not more. Like, easily. Like, how is he 25, 80? Like, it doesn't make sense. भाई सहज भाई से ये बंदा 80 या 100 पॉइंट आगे है. And सहज भाई is very strong, but भाई सहज भाई, I mean, like, he can't defeat Vidit, Mamidyarov, like back to back. Like, I mean, Nepo, like, I mean, it's insane. Like, I think this guy is severely underrated. Like, 27 rating honi chahiye bhai is bande ki. Something is like it's not sinking in my head. Like, he's severely like had se zyada underrated, like 100 point minimum. So he's very, very strong, I think, and we will see that in his games. जब Olympiad खेलेंगे वो, क्या पता यही fourth board पे खेले, even ahead of Vokidov, because क्या opening prep है भाई, it's insane. So yeah, going to the Arjun game now. Big fan of Madaminov, जैसे chess उन्होंने खेला. By the way, best move. H3 played by Arjun. Insane move. And now Arjun is already slightly better by. Great. I should also play some tournament. Nena, I think you're new here. I will play some tournaments for sure, but rating घट जाएगी मेरी. Not in great form nowadays. What do you work as professional? What do you work as professional? Reveal the secret also. I am a commentator, by the way. How is Madaminov plays so well? He already fits. Yeah, exactly my point. He's insane. I don't know how is he handling this. How is he playing so well? It feels like he's been helping Sindarov and not playing as much because he's been helping him. And now we see the scenario jahan pe he's showing like he's evolved as a chess player and he's gotten so much stronger, man. And this tells you बिना खेले भी आप strong बन सकते हो बस practice करके. Nicholas should play Queen H4. That would be awesome from our perspective. But as you might have seen, ये Bote's gambit. Maybe Nicholas is not a big fan of it, yeah? If Sahil gets one draw in such a tournament, we should all retire. I agree, man. I would lose 9 on 9 games in this tournament. But Madaminov ने पूरा मतलब खतरनाक कर दिया है. Chat, by the way, love to know आप लोगों की एज क्या है, what's your age chat and कहाँ से आप लोग ज्वाइन कर, मैंने पूछा था ऑलरेडी. So what is your age chat? Would love to know कि कौन कितने साल का है, कौन 5 साल का है, कोई 50 साल का है भाई. Would love to know that chat. Let's go. So it makes sense the improvement a lot too. Yeah, it makes sense. But the thing is, usually I see improvement aati hai. When Vidit was helping Anish as a second, we saw him improving. We saw him improving. But it was gradual. Like he went from 26 on 2650, 2670. Then he stopped working with Anish and put full effort into his chess. Then he kind of, gained rating. But this is exceptional play, man. 18 from Jharkhand. Nice. 17, 32, 33. Swash bhai. Ek saal. 112-year-old Karthik bhai. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. मतलब कुछ अब रिकॉर्ड होना चाहिए यार. 22, 17, 21. Amazing भाई. कोटा में 32 भाई. कोटा में तो यूजली मतलब यू नो कोटा जब मैं सुनता हूं तो सिर्फ याद आता है कि भाई स्कूल के बच्चे या कॉलेज के बच्चे होंगे लाइक मतलब. 18 from Antarctica. Nice, 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 nice. Yes, Vidit is below 2700 now. 37 from Dallas started playing in teams of chess after our double goal. That's crazy, Ninja. Actually, like it's amazing. I think Indian results have been inspiring people to take up the game because chess has benefits beyond the game. Like it helps you to, predict stuff in life better, like calculate stuff in life better. Like मैं ये बोलूंगा तो ये ऐसा होगा, ऐसा होगा, ऐसा होगा. Like you can do that better somehow. Also, like your memory. Okay, I'm not a great advert for memory there, but most chess players have a great memory. They can recall stuff they did 10 years back easily, and it's good to have it in your life, yeah, in some capacity. VD is playing, but VD has already drawn his game. Chat उनको जल्दी थी शायद उनकी फ्लाइट. शायद जल्दी की होगी, आज की फ्लाइट कराई होगी उन्होंने. बाय द वे, ये आज काफी लोग कुछ वॉक ज्यादा ही कर रहे हैं भाई. कांस्टेंट वॉकिंग आई कैन सी. ये देखो. अरे 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 आईएसबीटी बस स्टैंड है क्या भाई? मतलब इतने लोग क्यों चल रहे हैं यार? एवरीबडी जस्ट वॉकिंग ओनली. अरे 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 भाई सब कोई वॉक, कोई खेल भी रहा है कि नहीं? कैन वी हैव द ब्यूटी कैम्प फॉर अ सेकंड? भाई सब लोग वॉक ही कर रहे हैं, कोई खेल भी रहा है बैठ के. अच्छा, ये ब्यूटी कैम्प तो मतलब अलग ही ब्यूटी दिखा रहा है, मतलब ये कब की. वी हैव दैट कैमरा समय और नो? अच्छा चलो रहने दो फिर. आज तो लोग को ज्यादा ही वॉक कर रहे हैं यार. आज लगता है कुछ लाइक स्टेप्स का कंपटीशन भी है. लाइक आई फील लाइक वो भी चल रहा है कंपटीशन. सो आज एवरीबॉडी इज वॉकिंग लाइक देयर इज सम एक्स्ट्रा प्राइज. हाँ अरे बाकी, अरे अभी तो सब लोग वॉक कर रहे थे, कहाँ गए? यही होता है भाई, जब ऑब्सेशन मूवी देखते हो ना फिर यही होता है भाई. पीपल स्टार्ट वैनिशिंग एंड डूइंग क्रेजी स्टफ. सो या, डोंट वॉच दैट मूवी. Meanwhile, chat after H3, सोच रहे हैं Nicholas, and he has 53 minutes on his clock, which is already, I feel, dangerously low for the current position. I think position already खराब लग रही है. If you do play Bishop H5 chat, then again, as we discussed, Knight takes E4 is already a possibility because takes and takes, I can actually take this pawn. You cannot take it back because if takes, Rook H5 takes, there is, oh, sorry, not this, takes, there is Queen H7 mate. And now the king even doesn't have this. So, iske hisab se we will win a pawn at least. So, black should not go bishop h5. He should actually take on d2. And after knight takes d2, should now go bishop h5. But again, now this is technically hanging. This is hanging. Knight f1 bhi aa raha hai, opening the bishop here. Not a comfortable position for black regardless. Watch Haunted 3D instead masterpiece. नहीं नहीं भाई, I'm telling you, Obsession was crazy. Like it was an insane movie. मीनवाइल चैट एस3 के बाद निकोलस भाई कितना टाइम सोच रहे हैं भाई 7 मिनट ऑलरेडी हो चुके हैं उनको आई थिंक ही हैज टू प्ले क्विकली because otherwise he's going to be under time pressure, he's going to be under positional pressure, and I Arjun jeet raha hai aaj. I think Arjun is winning. Greece number 1 hai, by the way. I think Nicholas, he's a very very strong player, but I still feel ki it's going to be tough for him against a player like Arjun. शरबत मिल रहा है इसलिए ये क्या है शरबत तो कमेंट सारे पढ़ने नहीं चाहिए अपडेट अस ऑन चैलेंज सेक्शन यार आई वुड लव टू आई डोंट सी द गेम्स हियर आई विल ओपन इट अप सेपरेटली भाई गले को क्या हो गया यार रुको सो चैलेंजेस में चैट जस्ट क्विक अपडेट आई थिंक Aditya Mittal is in 4th place, 4.5 points. वो already मुरादली मोहम्मद जीत चुके हैं with 7 out of 8. So he's basically playing an insane event. And future section में, I think Seturaman is in 4th place. वहाँ पे similar scenario. He has 5 points, but 2 players have 6 points. So they are likely to win. So काफी similar to what's happening in the Masters. Meanwhile, चैट एचटी के बाद निकलस सोचते हुए लेट्स गो फुल स्क्रीन वो कुछ चलने ही वाले आई थिंक वी सी सम नर्वसनेस एंड ही फाइंड्स द बेस्ट मूव नाइस मूव by Nicholas there realizing कि भाई I cannot move the bishop back now I have to take with the knight because again queen ये bishop से मारा तो you take this and if you take the bishop then black can just take back and ये piece hanging है so that will be losing so Arjun is forced to take the knight with the knight अजीब भाई सोचते भी कभी बोर्ड पे देख के नहीं है यार Show hands game. Yeah, hands game. I think he's worse, man. I think we'll come to it later. I feel. I think hands is slightly worse. I feel Madamino is like Lazovic shots, very young, played less since COVID. That's why I can really underrate. It's possible, but I think Madamino got difference here. I think Lazovic, at least at the online level, has shown to be comparable to anybody in the world. In fact, he defeated Magnus Carlsen himself in that CCT final last year. So that's the level Lazovic can show in online chess. Madaminov, however, we have not seen him play online chess even at that level. So it's more of a surprise, much more of a surprise. So we're looking at the position of Arjun. I don't know why Arjun is even thinking. Like there is literally no other move apart from knight takes d2. So I wonder why is he even thinking here? Like chat, for example, if you are stuck in a room, okay, and let's say कोई मूवी चल रही है and the guy is kidnapped and 3 तरफ दीवार है 1 तरफ दरवाजा है and you know कि भाई like the only I know you don't know what's behind the door but you have to go to the door right like there's no other option so यहाँ पे I think Arjun only has one move so उसके बारे में सोचना I'm not sure if it makes sense you think of 2 minutes okay खेल दो अज्जू भाई Points table, yeah, points table. I think nothing has changed. Arjun is in, on 4 points. The only thing is to even have any hope of finishing first place, he has to win today. That's the only hope. And Chad, you know what? It's a big statement for Indian chess. जब 350 लोग चेस 24 इंडिया पे सुबह 12:50 पे 12:55 पे ये गेम देख रहे हैं आई मीन चेस हैज कम अ लॉन्ग वे चैट आई फील लाइक मुझे याद है लॉन्ग टाइम बैक आई थिंक 5 years back of course, Samay and Sagar used to have huge watching, but usually I think for professional chess, the watching was way lower. I think chess, Indian players have really taken us so far ahead as a sport. And I think बहुत potential है chess में. In the next 5 years, these guys could really make a name for themselves. In fact, मुझे याद है Chennai GM 2020, I think it was 4 or 3. I think 4 maybe. I don't know which Chennai GM it was. I think 4. And उस time पे I was at the Chennai airport and we were flying to Kolkata. And I was talking to Prag and Arjun at that point. And Prag at that point in Chennai was already famous. Like he would wear a cap and cover his face a little bit ताकि लोग पहचाने ना. And तब भी एक दो लोग आके autograph मांग के गए. Arjun at that point, I talked to him कि like very soon it's gonna be a situation jahan pe these guys cannot travel easily because they will be recognized anywhere. And he started smiling aise, and literally uske just baad I think they won the Olympiad, they won the so on, and Gukesh became the world champion. So it happened so quickly, and now it's so nice to see all these players get the recognition they deserve. And of course I think in general as professional players they should also do more to make sure their accomplishments reach the world. Like socials pay, they should have managers who are covering content around them. But yeah, man, it's so nice to see growth of chess overall. तारीफ कर रहा हूँ, ऑफकोर्स तारीफ कर रहा हूँ यार. 300 watching भाई for 12:55 p.m. on a Monday is great. I know cricket से compare करेंगे तो it's like not even peanuts, मक्खी के बराबर भी नहीं है. But I still feel chess का जो growth है, it's spectacular overall. क्या खा रहे हो? कुछ भी नहीं भाई. I just have a little bit of a cold actually. कुछ खा नहीं रहा. तभी शायद तुम्हें वो थोड़ा सा सुनाई दे रहा होगा. Maybe Arjun is thinking about h takes g4. नहीं भाई, h takes g4 is a blunder because black ने एक piece खाया, white ने एक piece खाया, and now black can just take with check, takes and takes, and white का king completely open है अब. Like it's completely bare open. Like इतना नंगा हो चुका है, and queen h4 आ रहा है, rook आ रहा है, bishop आ रहा है. I mean, I would just resign this as white, like all designable. So you cannot do this. Arjun is from a hometown. Sadly, not many people know him. You know, I think I'll give you an example, chat. Okay? Look at the number of followers Ukesh has on Instagram. My guess is 1.5 million se upar hai. Look at the number of followers Parag has. My guess is he must have around 1 million, right? Now, Arjun might have around 100K. Why do you think that's the case? Even though Arjun, technically, over the last few years, has been India number one for the longest. Why do you think that's the case? I think two reasons. Number one, I think Gukesh and Parag won the right events. Like Gukesh won the world championship. Parag won the Norway chess, defeated Magnus so many times. So they won the right events which get the maximum eyeballs. So automatically more people know about their accomplishments and want to follow their journey. And number two reason is the amount of content they put out. Look at Parag doing a collaboration with Raj Shamani. Like there was no need to do so. But when I saw that, I was so happy because ऐसे collaboration जरूरी है. Because it brings chess players to the forefront. So I feel like as a top player, like not just for these three, like any top player, to kind of bring your face in front of a normal audience is important. Like it might feel like, ठीक है, मैं chess की practice करूंगा and my results will speak for themselves. But sometimes I think taking that extra effort out, getting media trained is really helpful, I feel. So I think it can definitely help many, many top players in India and across the world. Yeah, but people don't understand what Thai's rating is. Taiki, that's the problem. Like people don't understand rating. People understand कि Parag ने गोट को हराया. People understand Gukesh is a world champion, but 2800 rating का मतलब क्या है? Not everybody understands. And also, like, you know, it was such a brief moment in time. Like it happened and it went away. So I feel like उस time पे अगर Arjun ने, like Arjun is India number one right now. But why does he have less visibility? I think it's purely because of two reasons. Again, he's not won the right events. He always crumbles at the second spot. And also because he doesn't put out as much content. By the way, look at that move. Wow. Wow. Bhai, do not take that bishop. If you take that bishop, bhai, yahan pe check aayegi. King f1, and now not this check, but rook e8. Threatening queen h1 checkmate. So bhai, and there is no defense, I think, actually. Like, kam se kam bishop e4 piece dena padega. So do not take that bishop. But the question is now, is black threatening this anyways? Oh my God, is he gonna sack a piece? Chat, okay, let's see. How can we defend against bishop h3? The first move that comes to mind is knight f1. Why? Because this brings my queen into the game. But this, the best move is already takes. Oh my God, pawn takes, queen takes, and f3 was the plan to bring the queen. But now queen f3, and suddenly I can't even bring the queen because the bishop is hanging. And if rook e2, knight e7, and the game is roughly equal actually, 3 pawns for a piece. Now, I would still prefer to be white here as Arjun, but it's not clear if Arjun is actually winning because rook a2 bhi hai. ध्यान रखना, as a distraction at the right moment. So very interesting position. I don't know if Nicholas goes for it. Next idea is bishop f1. So I can literally defend the h3 pawn. And I think this is what Arjun might go for. But here black has a crazy idea, bhai. And you will not believe this move, chat. Can you find what is the best move for black here, chat? It's an insane move. I did see Vishisar's Amazon and I did see crazy. See again, like it's so nice to see like a big brand come up and sponsor a chess. Of course, Vishisar is a chess legend now, but it's nice to see big brands come in, and big brands do contact us as also. Chesscom India and Sahil Tiku both. Let's go. समय अभी भी कमेंट्री करेगा तो व्यूअरशिप पहले जैसे बढ़ जाएगा होल व्यूअरशिप बूम बट समय also has like other commitments, right? Like he has latent upcoming, he has comedy shows. It's very hard to expect him to lead the baton now in the chess ecosystem. I mean, he did do COB. He took out time out of his busy life, did COB for an entire week, and that's already asking a lot, I think, from Samay. And he also got a lot of prize money, right? He got everybody, everybody was paid handsomely. Everybody was enjoyed watching these streams. So exciting. Kya crazy final tha bhai. So I think very hard to ask more from Samay there. The best move here is bishop h2 check. Bhai, sukha piece. Sukha bishop. And now queen f2. And guess what? White has to find only one of two. First of all, rook is attacked. So rook e6 is one of the only moves to prevent rook f6 from black. Warna black ka rook aa jayega. Now f4, sacking the bishop, dusra bishop as well. f3, what? Oh my God. And you know what the only move for Arjun is here, chat? And this is where I feel he should not play bishop f1. Anybody who is able to find the best move here by himself is an absolute legend. Is an absolute legend. भाई आप इकलौते बंदे हो दुनिया में जिसको चेसकॉम मेंबरशिप की भी जरूरत नहीं है भाई, जिसको कार्लसन की कोचिंग की भी जरूरत नहीं है भाई. आप हो एब्सोल्यूट लेजेंड जो ये मूव यहां निकाल पाए भाई. नॉट 94, क्वीन हैंगिंग है. नहीं, not 94. That's a free queen chat. And there's no mate here with the knight. Not rook e2. Nahi. Socho. Not rook b7. It's an insane move. It's an insane move. Not rook b2. Nahi. देख कोई निकाल ही नहीं पा रहा है. So मतलब आप लोगों को चेस की बेसिक जरूरत है भाई, तो जाके ले लो भाई. डायमंड अपग्रेड टुडे. Not queen d3. Nopes. चाहे पहले ध्यान रखो थ्रेट क्या है. One of the threats is, let's say I play a3. Assume threat is queen h4 check, king g1, f2 checkmate. That is the threat. So usko dekhte hue, the only move for white is king to h3. God, what have I just seen? What have I just seen, God? ये क्या है भाई? तुझे घर की याद नहीं आई जस्सी? कैसे h3 पे जा रहा है भाई तू? शर्म आती है कि नहीं? किसकी साइड से खेल रहा है भाई? वाओ, वाओ मैन. And look at भाई. This is insane, man. This is insane. So, okay. I mean, that's why I feel there is no way on earth Arjun should play bishop f1. Because अगर black का दिमाग चल गया, अगर black का दिमाग चल गया, जादू चल गया, so this is going to be almost impossible to save. He's going to lose this game. So let's play knight f1. Let him take 3 pawns for a piece and play that game. I was the first to write king h3. Bro, if you found it on your own, like calculate कर, तुक्का नहीं था and engine move नहीं थी, bro, you are a legend. आज से मैं legend design में बुलाऊंगा आपको भाई, because that was insane. And this tells me अर्जुन यहां पे घंटा ना बैठने सोच जाए पूरा भाई. It would not be surprising. What a moment, chat, in the exact tournament. I want to show it again. So knight f1 takes, queen here f3 takes is the simple way to play. White has a piece, black has 3 pawns, and white is slightly better. Halka fulka मूंगफली बराबर better. ठीक है. The second move is bishop f1, जहां bishop h2 check brilliancy, king h2, queen f2. Now, because rook f6 आ रहा है, rook e6, let's say play a3, for example, this is hanging. And if you play, for example, I don't know, rook, कहा रुक कोई सेफ भी नहीं है, रुक कहीं सेफ ही नहीं है, तो खेलना ही पड़ेगा रुक e6. Now there is of course f4, which is the crazy move. You have to take the bishop only move. Now f3, and the only move is king to h3. Now there is knight d8 attacking the rook, rook e7, fg2 now. By the way, there's also rook a6. Look at this, rook a6. Threatening me. Oh my god, what is this variation? Now rook d5. Agar rook h6, there is rook h5. Freaking insane. Takes, knight e6 now, threatening. And now you know what the best move is? King h2 back. King. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's not possible. It's not possible. Chat, knight f4 pe. Best move is knight c4, sacking the queen. Oh my god. What have I just seen? There is no way this is the variation. How is this legal? How is this legal? कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है भाई, कंप्यूटर को समझ आ रहा है भाई. I have to go through that. I mean, just please, I'm sorry, I have to show you. This is Indian chess, but this is the only move for both sides. I'm gonna go back. Let's go back all the way. अगर यहां अर्जुन ने बिशप f1 खेला, ठीक है, the only move for black is bishop h2. He has to play it. Only move for white is king h2. Only move for black is queen f2. Only move for white is rook e6. Only move is f4. Only move, 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 and now the only move is knight c4. And you know now, the best move is not taking the queen. You have to be kidding me. The best move is check. Okay, chat, this is officially the craziest chess variation I have ever seen. And इस पे एक वीडियो बनाऊंगा मैं at some point, 100%. I don't know, Chesscom India पे, maybe we can put this, maybe on my channel, but what is going on? And now rook h5 के बाद, now you take the free queen. Now I don't take the rook because ये mate हो रही है. So bishop f4, rook h5, gh5, and now queen to f5 attacking the bishop and the pawn. So bishop e5 attacking g7, check, king g1, and the draw is this one. Finally, even though black has a queen, if you play rook g8, white can simply pick up this pawn. And now white is winning. Check here, check, king f2, some check, king e2. I mean, this is crazy. Knight d6, knight f7, wait, no! Why, this has every tactic in the book. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is the craziest chess game of all time. Brother, how is this legal? How is this legal? Okay, chat. Okay. I mean, I have no words. I have officially no words. I think we have lost the plot here. What do we do here, chat? Okay, I mean, this is insane. मैं नहीं संभाल पा रहा हूँ भाई. I'm not able to handle this chat. Okay. Arjun bhai, let's go for it, man. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it, bhai. Go bishop f1. Go bishop f1, Arjun bhai. Come on. Let's do it, man. Let's do it, भाई. आज कुछ क्रेजी कर देते हैं. मतलब एक ऐसी गेम खेलेंगे जो अगले 1000 साल तक, जब एलियंस लैंड करेंगे धरती के ऊपर, एंड दे वांट द, बोलते ना, उनको एविडेंस चाहिए कि भाई इंसानियत कितना स्मार्ट सोच सकती है, तो वीकेंड से ये गेम देखो, अर्जुन एरिगेसी की वर्सेस निकोलस. लाइक दिस इज द एविडेंस वी कैन गिव भाई. सो लेट्स गो भाई. लेट्स गो भाई, कम ऑन भाई, क्या फील है भाई? ओके, आई हैव नो वर्ड्स, लिटरली नो वर्ड्स। विषय गेम बुक भाई, बुक में भाई, ये तो मैं मतलब अपने दोस्तों को मतलब 50 साल बाद जब मेरे पोते होंगे उनको समझाऊंगा, बेटा बेटा तू, हाँ हाँ पता है तू, पता है तू प्लूटो होके आया है अभी बेटा, लेकिन तुझे नहीं पता बेटा, एक टाइम पे मैंने भी कुछ किया था क्रेजी। अच्छा दादाजी, क्या किया था हमने? बेटा मैंने गेम देखी थी, अर्जुन वर्सेस निको करके कोई निको लास, हाँ निको लास करके बंदा था, और गेम देखी थी भाई, ये वैसी गेम है भाई। And you know what? I want Nicholas to find the best moves. Like, I want him to find the best moves. I want to see this variation. I want to see this variation. Man, this is insane. These guys could be moments away from creating history. Arju bhai, please, please chat. If Arjun plays bishop f1 and we see bishop h2 on the board, एक बंदे को चेसकॉम डायमंड मेंबरशिप एक महीने की भाई, just for this, forget all the other 200,000 variations we saw, इतनी चीज के लिए ही एक बंदे को चेसकॉम डायमंड मेंबरशिप भाई, डन भाई। मेरे पोते को भी पहले से एडवांस में गिफ्ट। लेट्स गो भाई, ये है रियल सिनेमा, आई अग्री। असली सिनेमा ये है भाई। ऑब्सेशन वाज अ जोक कंपेयर टू दिस, कम ऑन भाई, लेट्स गो। लेट्स गो अजू भाई, प्लीज डू इट मैन, प्लीज। मैं अर्जुन का सबसे बड़ा फैन बन जाऊंगा भाई, मैं सबसे बड़ा फैन बन जाऊंगा अर्जुन का, उसने ये कर दिया भाई, कम ऑन। रूकी थ्री अवॉइड चल कब? बिकॉज यू मीन राइट नाउ you want to play rookie 3, but there's f4. Why would you play rookie 3? Now you have to find, look at this, by the way, this is thank you by the way for suggesting this move, Mr. Greesh bhai, because now you don't save the rook, you play knight f3. Look at this. And you know what black does? इतना सारा देखने के बाद, इतना क्रेजी देखने के बाद, ब्लैक यहां क्वीन सैक करता है, बेशरम आदमी, पॉन टेक्स। अबे यू हैव टू बी किडिंग मी, थोड़ा शर्म करो, थोड़ा शर्म करो इंजन भाई। अबे व्हाट इज दिस, रुकी थ्री खेला, f4, नाइट f3, आई अटैक योर क्वीन, एंड कोई इज्जत ही नहीं है क्वीन की। नाइट h4 के बाद ef2 चेक, किंग f1 के बाद रुके ये थ्रेटनिंग रुकी वन मेट। भाई कोई इज्जत तो करो रानी की यार, कोई कोई जिंदगी में कोई इज्जत तो करो। What is this variation? What is this variation? Now only move is, well, knight f3 for example. You know, one of the moves chat is queen f2. And can you find the best move for black? You know what the best move is? Not taking the queen, bishop g3. सो वापस चलते हैं, घर चलते हैं भाई लोग, घर चलते हैं। थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे आते हैं करंट पोजीशन पे। थोड़ा सा पागल हो गए हैं हम लोग अभी। यू नो इट्स अ बिट गोइंग क्रेजी, आई एम गोना लूज माय माइंड, मुझे लगता है इस वेरिएशन देख देख के। सो क्लियरली दिस चेस हैज इवॉल्व्ड बियॉन्ड ह्यूमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग। कहीं ना कहीं पे सैम ऑल्टमैन जी इसको रिसर्च करेंगे अब, चैट जीपीटी यही देख के चेस सीखेगा आई थिंक। So yes, I think I'm following in the footsteps of famous Bobby Fischer भाई, I think थोड़ा वाइल्ड जा रहा हूं मैं अभी। So chat, I think निकोलस भाई ने कुछ क्रेजी कर दिया क्वीन h4। Every variation seems to be a joke here. I don't want to see knight f1 अर्जुन भाई, because that is, वो समझ में आ रहा है, वो समझ में आ रहा है कि गेम कैसी चल रही है। I can understand this and I want to see something non-understandable. So going back, अज्जू भाई आप रुकी थ्री खेलो या बिशप f1 खेलो, बस इनमें से एक चाल खेलो प्लीज। एक बंदा बोल रहा है प्ले नाइट f1 अवॉइड बुलशिट, नो वंडर्स बंदे का नाम डीमन बॉय है भाई। भाई थोड़ा शर्म करो भाई, इतना क्रेजी चेस देखने को मिल रहा है, मतलब वी हैव टू गो फॉर इट, वी हैव नो चॉइस। एनीबडी जॉइनिंग इन, आई एम गोना रीप्ले अ चेस वेरिएशन। सो आई वांट कन्विंस यू कि भाई सील्ड बेल्ट बांध के रखना। सो वी are going to see a variation again, which is going to make you lose faith in chess at all. So उसके बाद half of you will quit chess and half of you will become the next Carlsen. So let's seat belt by that. So one of the best moves, in fact the best move according to the engine here, is bishop f1. काफी logical, you defend the pawn. And black now calmly gives a free bishop, ये ले, मतलब ले ले। व्हाइट कहता है भाई फ्री का बिशप है, चक दो। एंड क्वीन अब बिशप देके आराम से प्यादा मार लेती है। नाउ इफ यू टेक दिस बिशप यू विल टेक द रुक, सो रुक ये 6 खेलते हैं। इकलौता स्क्वायर बाय द वे आउट ऑफ ऑल दी स्क्वायर्स ऑन द ई फाइल, E6 इज द ओनली वन फ्री, बाकी सब पे टैक्स लग रहा है। सो रुक E6 खेला हमने। एंड ब्लैक कहता है हमने अभी एक बिशप दिया था H2 पे, अब हम दूसरा भी देंगे। ये लो भाई, बिशप के साथ क्लियर पार्शियलिटी चल रही है, बिशपिज्म। एंड यहां पे आता है, अब बिशप मार दिया है पॉन टू F3। एंड आइडिया क्या है, क्वीन H4 किंग G1 F2 मेट। अब इसको रोकने के लिए व्हाइट इकलौती चाल खेलेगा, क्वीन नाइट बिशप रुक पॉन नहीं, किंग टू H3। मतलब चल देगा मैदान में, बिकॉज इट्स कूल, समझ रहे, लाइक कुछ भी कर देगा मतलब। एंड नाउ ब्लैक की बेस्ट चाल है नाइट टू D8 टकिंग द रुक। हम खेलेंगे यहां पे रुक E7। अब आएगा रुक टू A6 थ्रेटनिंग यहां पे मेट। तो किंग तो भाग नहीं सकता, तो हम खेलेंगे रुक टेक्स D5। अगर रुक H6 देयर इज रुक H5। तो ब्लैक यहां खेलेगा pawn takes G2 and knight to E6 threatening some knight G8 वाला चेकमेट या knight F4 वाला। एंड व्हाइट यहां खुलेआम खेलेगा king H2 वापस। एंड आफ्टर knight F4 he will now, after black has already sacked two bishops, drama whatever, rook A6, white will खुलेआम sack the queen। मतलब फ्री की, मतलब बिल्कुल एकदम $0, मतलब देयर इज नो फ्री लंच बट देयर इज अ फ्री क्वीन, समझ लो। एंड ब्लैक फ्री क्वीन देके मारेगा नहीं, वो पहले देगा चेक, क्योंकि वो ज्यादा हीरो बनता है भाई, लाइक रुक H6 चेक देगा वो यहाँ पे। एंड नाउ रुक H5 के बाद रुक नहीं मारेंगे, अब मारेंगे क्वीन वापस टू, समझ लो। बिल्कुल एक ब्लॉकबस्टर मूवी की तरह है, लगता है इस तरफ जा रहा है, सडनली यहां, सडनली वापस यहां। एंड नाउ ही विल नॉट टेक द रुक ऑफ कोर्स, बिकॉज मेट विल टेक द नाइट, बिशप F4। नाउ ही विल टेक and now queen to F5 threatening the bishop, so bishop E5। and now the best black can do is give a repetition, and this is a draw like this after all this drama। अगर यहां black push करता है, let's say rook G8, then there is rook C7 preparing knight D6 knight F7 smothered mate। okay, so this is just chess at its finest। so chat इंतजार करते हैं अर्जुन की चाल का, बिकॉज क्लियरली वी हैव सीन एवरीथिंग राइट। ब्रेन इज नॉट ब्रेनिंग, आई थिंक वी आर ऑल इन द सेम बोट। कि कोई ऐसा बंदा चैट में है जिसके लिए लॉजिकल चेस था? कोई ऐसा बंदा है चैट में? जरा लिखो मी, इफ दिस ऑल ऑफ दिस वाज वेरी लॉजिकल टू यू, लेट मी नो। कौन है हमारे चैट में ऐसा बंदा भाई? ग्लैड टू नो कोई भी नहीं है। मी, मी एक एक बंदा दिखा मुझे, ओके। दो बंदे, ओके ओके। और कोई है ऐसा? और कोई है ऐसा? नहीं, दो लोग है ना, दैट मीन्स। सो ये सूर्यांश भाई इज चैट जीपीटी एंड ये सरकार भाई इज क्लॉड। सो क्लियरली दो एआई टूल्स हमारे चैट में घूम रहे हैं, बिकॉज इंसानों के लिए दिस इज लिटरली इम्पॉसिबल। सूर्या भाई आई अंडरस्टैंड, तो बता सूर्या भाई, मेरा फ्री का सब्सक्रिप्शन करा देना, आपका इतना प्रमोशन कर दिया आज, तो लाइक प्लान के लिए पे ना करना पड़े तो दैट वुड बी नाइस। Disgusting engine line. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing is, Arjun is totally capable of finding this. That's the crazy part. So let's go full screen. Arjun कुछ तो सोच रहा है क्योंकि उसके शक्ल पे ना कुछ तो मुझे दिख रहा है कि भाई कुछ क्रेजी करने वाला है। Can we go full screen? भाई, do you think? And of course, we saw the second line, rook E3, F4, knight F3, sacking the queen as well. Like we also saw this crazy line. So chat, do you think Arjun is gonna go bishop F1? Knight F1 या rook E3? Come on chat, top 3 moves, he's gonna play one of these। क्या लगता है? He's about to play, come on chat, जल्दी, fast। ओह रुक गया, तुम्हें टाइम दे रहा, 1 मिनट खेल सोचने के, जल्दी करो chat, जल्दी करो। He's about to play। Knight F1, rook E3, Knight F1, bishop F1, F1, F1 पे क्या सूर्यांश भाई, क्या चीज रखोगे F1 पे? खुद जाके नहीं बैठना उधर स्क्वायर पे। Knight F1 ऑब्वियस। नाइट F1 इज द काम मूव। अगर अर्जुन को कॉम्प्लिकेशंस अवॉइड करनी है, ही शुड प्ले नाइट F1। और अगर उसको आग में बोलते ना, लाइक झुलसना, खुद दूसरे को भी डालना है, देन यस। Arjun about to play. Let's go! Bishop F1 on the board. Let's go! Why feels? Nicholas भाई कर दो निकोलस भाई एंड चैट नाउ. निकोलस हैज टू ऑप्शंस, ठीक है, दो ऑप्शन है. फर्स्ट ऑप्शन इज व्हाट वी सॉ व्हिच इज द बेस्ट मूव. सेकंड ऑल्टरनेटिव इज F4. एनीथिंग एल्स ही इज लॉस्ट, ठीक है. नाउ F4 के बाद अर्जुन हैज ओनली वन मूव एंड दैट इज रुक टेक्स D5. सो ये एक और क्रेजी लाइन देखते हैं. सो ब्लैक इज बेसिकली, यू नो, ब्लैक ने विच हैव फन एंड नाउ लेट्स से खेला F4. ब्लैक ने एक पॉन सैक किया. नाउ F3. And this is also crazy. Now knight takes F3, bishop takes F3, G takes F3, rook takes F3, and bishop G2 के बाद black will not save his rook. He will play rook takes H3. And now rook H1 कुछ ideas आ रहे हैं. So rook G5 is one of the moves. So ये भी crazy है, but this is still less crazy than the other line. So regardless of what happens, crazy is gonna happen over the board. Nicholas bhai, please brother. Please, please, you have to do it, man. You have to do it. कर दो भाई. Although F4 is also like quite crazy, but Bishop H2 will be absolutely freaking insane. नहीं, Bishop H2 free में बचेगा भाई. Bishop H2 पे है. That's very important. Come on, come on, come on, come on, कर दो भाई. निकोलस भाई, फैन हो जाऊंगा भाई निकोलस भाई का. भाई मैं इस साल ग्रीस जाऊंगा अगर Bishop H2 आया on the board. I promise. सारे भाई हम सब चलेंगे ग्रीस अगर Bishop H2 आ गया तो. What do you think? Bishop S2 is incoming. Bhai, I hope so, man. I'm really praying for it. This might give the this could be if it goes according to the lines we have seen. Like if they play the best move, like people might blunder, right? And they might just lose. Like that's not gonna honeymoon to nahi bhai. Actually, Chesscom का meetup है ग्रीस में इस साल. It's never happened in the US. Last time Mexico था तो हम गए नहीं थे हम लोग because उस टाइम पे वर्ल्ड कप चालू होने वाला था, दिवाली थी. पर इस साल ग्रीस में है तो साल में एक बार Chesscom हम लोगों को बुलाता है. आओ भाई थोड़ा मीटिंग शीटिंग कर ले इन लाइव. हेडफोन लगा कमेंट सुन रहा हूँ. मंडे को ऑफिस से काम कर रहा हूँ, काम में मन नहीं लग रहा. अरे भाई भाई, ग्लैड टू हैव यू भाई. कहाँ काम कर रहे हैं उसका अगर हमें ईमेल, फोन नंबर और नाम बता दें तो हम उनको बोल देंगे कि एक बंदा हमारी कमेंट देख रहा है, काम नहीं कर रहा है भाई. Why can't I hit the queen now? How do you kick the queen? Do you mean but well the black की चांस है, right? It's black to move now. So black कुछ चलेगा, उसके बाद white queen को लात मारेगा ना. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on यार. Nicholas? Did I say Nicholas? Sorry, Nicholas bhai. Come on, let's go. Come on, Nicholas bhai. Come on, come on. Bishop H2. Chat, only two moves possible. अगर Nicholas इन दोनों से कुछ नहीं खेलते, he is lost. He is lost. There are only two options. Only two options. And दोनों में bishop hanging है forever. Come on, Nicholas bhai. Bishop H5 में क्या हो रहा है? If Bishop H5 chat for example, then basically आपने ये सब ड्रामा क्यों किया? क्वीन को यहां क्यों लाया? बिशप हैंगिंग क्यों छोड़ा? White can just pick up the pawn for free. Next he'll pick up this. Like it's absolutely lost. It's completely lost for Nicholas. So there is no way he can just put the bishop back and say, भाई, धंधा अच्छा चल रहा है. ठीक है भाई, क्या है इतनी एनर्जी का रास on this long day? भाई I don't know भाई. कल मैं ऑब्सेशन देख के आया हूँ. I mentioned to the stream earlier. Basically, I wanted to record a vlog for the first time in my life. Just wanted to try it out, see how I look. Unfortunately, it didn't go that well because I was very grumpy in the vlog because I couldn't sleep the last night. But one part I really enjoyed was the obsession movie. It was absolutely insane. तो maybe वो movie की वजह से energy आ रही है भाई. I don't know where it is. But meanwhile, still waiting for Nicholas. Nicholas भाई कर दो भाई कर दो. Just do it, Nicholas bhai. Sponsorship incoming from Nike. If he does it, let's go. Just do it. I said Bishop F1, Bishop H2 membership मिलेगी. He has to play this. F4 is also crazy, but Bishop H2 थोड़ा extra wild है. तुम समझ रहे हो? Like it's like comparing play of, let's say, Gukesh or Prag in peak form versus Magnus, or even an Indian play. Like it's just so good. Like Bishop H2 is so crazy, man. Because वो तभी खेलेगा when he has seen all of this. Otherwise, he won't play it. घटिया मूवी भाई, इतनी बढ़िया मूवी है ना भाई, जाके देख के आओ. बट कमान कमान कमान, What can Nicholas do? By the way, so far accuracy is 99 for Arjun and 97 or 98 for Nicholas. अगर ये खेलेंगे तो बढ़ जाएगी accuracy भाई. Come on, let's go. Is this यार G5 पे ना कभी your queen might get trapped. Not right now, but I will just play rook D5 and धीरे so surely like your pieces are kind of stranded here. So I would not go D5 here at all. G5, sorry. It's an amazing movie, agree. विशेष लाइन समझा दो. सो आपका सवाल में गलत है आयुष भाई. आई थिंक सवाल ही गलत है. लाइन में दिखा सकता हूं, समझा नहीं सकता. आई कैन शो इट टू यू. आई कैन शो यू द ब्लू पिल. बट समझना वो खुद पड़ेगा. जो मैट्रिक्स जो एक्सप्रेस नियो वी आर इनसाइड द मशीन, वो सब नहीं मिलेगा आपको. आपको समझना खुद पड़ेगा. एंड वी गोना गो मूव बाय मूव द बेस्ट पॉसिबल वेरिएशन. अब आप खुद तुक्का लगाओ कि इसका क्या सेंस हो सकता है. ठीक है, क्या सेंस है इस बात की. बिशप H2, किंग H2. ठीक है. नाउ क्वीन F2, rook E6 saving the rook, F4 sacking the bishop, F3 threatening queen H4 and F2 mate. So king H3. Now knight D8 attacking the rook. Rook has to come here. Now rook K6 threatening rook H6. So rook D5 ताकि यहां पे आओ rook H6 पे. Now FG2 and knight E6 threatening knight F4 and knight G5. And now king H2 back preempting the check. Knight F4 and now sacking the queen with knight to C4. Not taking this free queen, playing a check. Rook H5 where the rook is hanging. Now taking the queen, not taking the rook, taking the knight. Takes, queen F5, bishop here, and this is the repetition by. And if black plays on, for example, king G1, rook G8, then there is bishop rook C7, preparing knight D6, knight F7 checkmate. Smothered mate by. So 3 बार दिखा चुके हैं. अब तो भाई होपफुली समझ आएगी होगा आप लोगों को. भाई what there is no way these players find this, by the way. It's literally impossible. I have seen obsession Indian version is bad. Bhai, Indian version alone, because I saw it in the theater, was absolutely insane. जो theater का feel था ना, it was crazy, man. So I would say it was an absolutely insane movie. So much fun to watch. Fun तो is a strong word. Like it was crazy to watch. भाई Nicholas भाई देख का रहे हैं chat. I feel like he's looking at the king side. That's a good sign. But if he finds bishop H2, भाई एक बंदे को Chesscom membership भाई. एक बंदे को Chesscom membership. Come on यार. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, he has to do it. He has to do it. Vidit laughing in the corner. Why is he laughing in the corner? This is what to go to in chess YouTube channel shorts. Bro, shorts की क्या बात कर रहे हो? Lols. Come on, Nico bhai, let's do it. Let's do it. He's considering the options. Bishop H2 is the possibility. F4 F4 is also great, yeah, but F4 nahi. I want to see Bishop H2. One learning obsession movie. Learning is by if you go, be ready for some screens in the hall, yeah. Like ऐसा definitely हो सकता है. Nico bhai will blunder for sure. This is impossible. See, the problem is he can find F4, for example. This is not tough because you still can't take the bishop, right? Because if you take the bishop, like there's some F3 and there's getting some mates, like F3, queen H2 is mate, knight F3 pe, I will just pick up the knight with the rook. And that's kind of not that tough to find. So F4 is kind of easy to find. The problem is कि यार F4 में उतना मजा नहीं है. I want to see bishop H2. अभी जैसे का लेटेस्ट ड्रामा बता दो. बहुत टाइम हो गया भाई. लेटेस्ट ड्रामा ये है कि निकोलस भाई इज अबाउट टू क्रिएट हिस्ट्री. कम ऑन जस्ट डू इट मैन. भाई 1 diamond membership if he finds it. If he finds it. Come on. नहीं, he didn't find it, he didn't find it, he didn't find it. भाई ओके, आई मीन पहली बार ओपोनेंट के ब्लंडर पे हम लोग दुखी हैं भाई. अब पहली बार ओपोनेंट के ब्लंडर पे वी आर नॉट हैप्पी. दिस इज हैड नेवर हैपेंड बिफोर इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडियन चेस. ही डिडंट फाइंड द बेस्ट मूव एंड चैट, यू मिस द मेंबरशिप. बैड लक. अब अर्जुन जीत रहा है एंड दैट्स मेकिंग मी फील सैड. लाइक पहली बार अर्जुन की विन पे दुख होगा भाई, पहली बार. भाई मैं निकोलस भाई को ट्विटर, इंस्टाग्राम, यूट्यूब पे हर जगह फॉलो करने ही वाला था भाई, लिटरली जस्ट अबाउट टू डू इट. मेंबरशिप देनी ही वाला चैट को. एंड शिट यार निकोलस, बट ओके ओके, इट्स वेरी टफ चैट. ये बोलना आसान है, हम जोक मजाक कर रहे हैं भाई. नॉट प्रेशर ऑन निकोलस भाई, बट ग्रेट गेम यू प्लेड. बट 97, of course the plan is similar. Yeah, maybe you defend the knight, bring to the king side, defend the d5 pawn. It makes sense. I mean it makes sense, but it's not the most ambitious. That's the problem. एटलीस्ट आधे इंडिया को दो मेंबरशिप. वाह भाई, चेसकॉम अगर मेरी खुद की कंपनी होती ना तब भी नहीं कर पाता मैं. कंपनी अगले अगले दिन ही डूब जाती भाई, कुछ भी मतलब. And now what can Arjun do is the question, right? I mean the question is, for example, like rook b7 now, like ये pawn नहीं मिला, जो मिला वो ले लेते हैं, but it's tough. If there's a six-way tie, you will give membership. भाई देखो, if Arjun wins the event, then yes. I mean that's automatic. ये बनता है. But अब एक चीज है, अर्जुन के जीतने के चांसेस आए हैं, but is he gonna win the event? It's tough because I think Madaminov is the kebab mein haddi here. Like he will likely win his game or at least draw, and he will be half a point ahead at least, even if Arjun were to win. Will the same line work? But how can the same line work? Because there is no bishop to capture, right? Like, bolte na, it's like it's like black had to, I said date pay, the guy has to ask first. I said bishop on h2 has to first be the initiator. It had to start the process. पहला कदम ही नहीं लिया किसी ने. So now, you know, there's no tension on the board, I feel. Like there's nothing happening. And now 97 के बाद, let's say Arjun completely is going to waste a move. Arjun कहता है कि मुझे and he plays some random move like a3, which makes no sense, by the way. Now, f4 is again possible, and it's a very good move. So same tactics can happen if Arjun just completely wastes a move. But Arjun चाल waste क्यों करेगा भाई? Why will he waste a move? He will not do so. He will play a very nice move and will at least win a pawn. And कोई कह रहा है Arjun should play g3. So आप सूर्यांश भाई, you love spice. I know आप अपना खाना बहुत spicy खाते हो ना, सही बताना सूर्यांश भाई. You prefer your food very spicy, right? Because g3 के बाद आपने मतलब जो बिशप पहले फ्री में मरने को तैयार था, जो फ्री में जाने को रेडी था, आप उसको अब दो प्यादे साथ में दे रहे हो आने के लिए, वो तो खेलेगा ही ना भाई. So bishop takes g3 takes, I mean this is an automatic move now. Bishop g2, queen takes c1, and you can resign. You can resign. So I know we wanted drama, but we don't want drama at the cost of Arjun's game though. So not g3 why. Let's not do this. This is too risky. Wow, what a game, man. Insane game so far. मजा आ गया भाई, मजा आ गया. Insane game यार. Okay, अब ड्रामा हो सकता है. Just because it didn't happen on that move could happen again. It could still happen. But the problem is, अब अर्जुन को गलती करनी होगी. Chat, question to you. Would you prefer a smooth Arjun? देखिए, be objective, ठीक है? हमें टूर्नामेंट भी जीतना है, खाली ड्रामा नहीं चाहिए. Would you prefer now a very smooth Arjun game, जहां पे वो आराम से, you know, best Charles c4 खेले, which is by the way the best move. I think the idea also is to have rook b3 here potentially, which could really defend the king side and also of course open the center, ताकि you know white की pieces game में आए. If I for example dc4 मार दिया, knight c4, I pick up this bishop, attack खत्म, वहीं पे खत्म, like Arjun wins the game. So would you prefer Arjun playing the best move and then kind of getting a very smooth, बोलते हैं ना शाहरुख खान की तरह खत्म वाली गेम, और would you prefer कि यहां पे अर्जुन हल्का सा कुछ मिस्टेक कर दे एंड देन कुछ ड्रामेटिक गेम मिले जहां पे कुछ भी हो सकता है? व्हाट डू यू प्रेफर चैट? कम ऑन, बिकॉज़ टूर्नामेंट भी जीतना है, टूर्नामेंट भी जीतना है. अब कोई कोई कह रहा है क्वीन d3, ठीक है, क्वीन d3 मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस. इट लुक्स लाइक कि हम क्वीन से डिफेंड कर रहे हैं, बट ब्लैक कैन अगेन गो f4. एंड यू नो व्हाट, अब एक क्वीन थोड़ी सी मिसप्लेस्ड भी हो सकती है इन सम लाइंस, राइट? इट कुड बी मिसप्लेस्ड. सो It's still an attack. F3 is coming, and queen is not really doing much to defend the king side, to be honest. Smooth win, dramatic game. Smooth win, dramatic game. My chat is divided. Arjun chaos. भाई यहां सिंदारोव नहीं है तो एकदम दिमाग खराब कर रहा है. एग्जैक्टली भाई, सिंदारोव के बिना ही, उसके सेकंड ने ही दिमाग खराब कर दिया यार. स्मूथ गेम, ड्रामेटिक. अच्छा सॉरी. हाँ भाई, चैट इज डिवाइडेड, अर्जुन भाई का माइंड इज डिवाइडेड. बट C4 बेसिकली जस्ट किल्स द गेम, आई फील. इसके बाद निकोलस, व्हाट निकोलस इज बेस्ट मूव नाउ इज, look at this. Nicholas just played 97. After C4, the only move for him to even continue the game is knight वापस, which is, तुम खुद तुक्का लगा लो कितना आसान है कितना मुश्किल. Because of course now you threaten D4, which is a nice move. You can also go knight G6, which also looks logical because knight F4 is a plan. But again, that's hanging the pawn. Is Nicholas ready to take that level of risk? For example, rook D5, knight F4, for example. But now look at this. Even just rook D6 wins. CD6, and now pick up this bishop. Pawn takes, and now knight E4. I will next pick this up, put the knight on G3 if needed, and this is just completely winning. So unfortunately for Nicholas, I think he's going to lose this one. Yeah, this doesn't look easy. Yep, he was very lucky yesterday and doesn't look like he's so lucky today. I think ये Arjun game जीतने वाला है, unless Arjun makes a mistake. अगर C4 निकाल दिया, I think this is curtains for Nicholas. I don't think he survives this. What a game, man. And what calculations, what crazy moves were possible. I think when these guys go back, analyze their games, with their seconds, I think they're going to be kind of fascinated with the beauty of chess. Just like we were, by the way, a few minutes back. कौन chess group, कौन सा chess group भाई? मुझे ही बुलाओ. Nodirbek at a disadvantage. Are you kidding me? Nodirbek is worse. Bhai, how is Nodirbek worse? Bhai, look at him. He's like not able to believe what's happening. Yeah. Okay, it's still roughly even, but I see these double pawns. I see the weaker white king, or it's not really weaker, but yeah, it does look like it's more easy for the white king to get into pressure. But regardless, rook f4 mar raha hai. And लगता है Vokhidov and also Madaminov are gonna give zero chances to Arjun for potentially winning this tournament. They're just gonna grind down or at least draw in their games with the black pieces. And Arjun के जीतने के बाद भी कोई मौका नहीं मिलेगा उनको टूर्नामेंट जीतने का. Bro, at that 50 at my PC it is plus 0.5. Bro, हाँ, yes, of course, plus 50 की depth. Clearly Arjun plus 50 तो क्रॉस कर चुका है कब का. मतलब 50 परफेक्ट मूव्स तो अर्जुन ऑलरेडी देख चुका है. राइट. That makes sense. तो 0.5 ही होगा फिर वैल्यूएशन. What chances of Arjun coming second? I think there are chances, but as of now it seems like Vokhidov and Madaminov को draw तो मिलेगा. So they will go to 5.5, and then the best Arjun can do is third. That's the best he can do. Tiko ने ग्रीस से ले लिया है. New fan if Nicholas. अच्छा, अर्जुन को, अरे ये क्या है भाई यार. I feel कि tough था लेकिन यार किसी के लिए, even for a player like Magnus, this was not easy to find. But it was crazy man. टाई ब्रेकर है, बट टाई ब्रेकर हमारे लिए रेलेवेंट तब होगा जब अर्जुन टाई ब्रेकर खेल रहा है. ऐसे लास्ट टाइम प्रग प्ले द टाई ब्रेकर राइट एंड वन दिस टूर्नामेंट अहेड ऑफ नोदरबेक एंड सिंदारोव. बट अगर अर्जुन विदित नहीं है, विदित बाय द वे हैज ऑलरेडी फिनिश्ड हिज इवेंट. He drew against Yakubov, so he has finished the tournament on 4 points, I think. No, 3.5 he finished on. So if Arjun wins, that's going to ensure कि Vidit last नहीं आते at least not a nightmare tournament for Vidit, but still not ideal, yeah. Like second last place, he won't be happy with that, I feel. अब सारे ग्रीस से जाएंगे ना, ग्रीस जाएंगे भाई. I think मेरे को बहुत लोगों ने बोला है ग्रीस is a beautiful place. My wife has been there. Some of my wife's friends have been there. Also, I think I've heard about some other people who've been there and had a great time. So, yeah, gonna go to Greece for the Chesscom meetup. मजा आएगा. वहाँ से photos डालेंगे. That's in October though. अभी बहुत time है. Do you think Arjun has seen Bishop H2? I mean, he has, but now it doesn't work, chat. Because now, let's say I play C4 and you try the same drama, yeah, Bishop H2, the same move. King takes, queen takes. Now the problem is the knight is hanging. So पहले ये knight hanging नहीं था. I can just pick up a free knight, F4, and it's not the same. Black is lacking a piece. I can play queen c3, for example. And if you try like f3, for example, now queen e3, and I'm just going to trade the queens. Khatam baat. There's no bakwas. Clear hai. So going back, current position, yeah. Show us leaderboard once. I wasn't following for 2-3 days, please. भाई दिखा दो leaderboard for Mr. Loner जी. Loner जी आपको join करो भाई बिल्कुल. I am also a hashtag loner, so please join the stream if you are a loner. Best stream for loners, by the way. Let's have the standings भाई. ये रहा. And the problem is जो 2 5 point वाले हैं वो दोनों के दोनों आज ड्रॉ करने वाले ऐसा लग रहा है. So अर्जुन टूर्नामेंट जीत नहीं सकते, but he can still finish in third place. So let's fight for it. Although you never know यार, क्या पता ड्रॉ ना हो, अर्जुन जीत भी जाए. ग्रीक नहीं भाई, ग्रीक तो इतना तो उसके लिए तो भाई पूरा 6-8 पैक कैब्स बनाने पड़ते हैं भाई. बड़ा टफ है यार, बनाएंगे किसी दिन. दैट्स द गोल भाई, दैट्स द गोल, बट अभी तो नहीं है. Why was it not pushing for rating gain against lower player like Yakubov? Yeah, Yakubov lower player है क्या? Yakubov rating क्या है? पहले जरा नजर मारते हैं. Yakubov rating is 2685 and Vidit is 2697. So 12 पॉइंट का तो डिफरेंस है. So can you call him a lower? I don't think so. It's like, like Ambani ka worth, let's say is 1 lakh crore, and let's say किसी और का है 90,000 crore. Like, I mean, sure, you can call him poor, the second guy poor, but it's almost the same, yeah, like almost the same. भाई अब तो Elon Musk ट्रिलियनर हो गए यार. भाई Elon Musk's net worth now is 1.3 trillion and the second richest guy is 250 billion. तो 1 trillion का difference है net worth में between Elon Musk and the second guy. तो yeah, I mean, Chad, how does that make you feel? Elon भाई थोड़ा 1 बिलियन इधर भी फेंक दो, मजा आ जाएगा भाई. बिल्कुल, क्या मस्त मिडिल क्लास बात करिए ना मेरे भाई. 1 बिलियन इधर भी दे दोगे तो क्या चला जाएगा भाई. मस्त भाई, आई लव दिस डायलॉग. भाई स्टिल ओके. निकोलस भाई सोचते हुए, अर्जुन सोचते हुए, अर्जुन भाई ट्राइंग टू फाइंड द क्लीनेस्ट वे टू विन. आई थिंक 97 उन्होंने मिस कर दिया होगा, बट इट्स नॉट अ like tough move to refute because it's still not doing anything. The knight is far away from anything actionable. 100K ही फेंक दे यार. 100K से लाइफ चेंज नहीं होगी. इमेजिन करो इलॉन मस्क पैसा फेंक रहा है और 100K फेंके. That's like me giving somebody 1 rupee, like even less. Like, doesn't make sense. That's insane if you think about it. That is insane actually. But not as insane as the variation we just saw. Yeah, you see, that was the goal, right? That was the goal of bringing up the Elon Musk net worth. Like 1 trillion is crazy, but not as crazy as the variation we just saw. Uh, 99 accuracy. Wow, 99.1 by. पता लग रहा है कि आप बायोलॉजी वाले स्टूडेंट हो हर्ष भाई. अगर आप कॉमर्स वाले होते और ड्यू में एडमिशन लिया होता तो आपको पता होती 0.1 की कीमत. रमेश बाबू, आपको नहीं पता है. सो दैट मींस आप बायोलॉजी वाले हो. Okay, still no moves by Arjun. 37 minutes, yeah. Okay, he's taking a lot of time actually. He should play quickly. अभी बेस्ट मूव चैट c4 है as we discussed, and the goal is of course c4 के बाद either to just win this pawn or to allow the knight to come into the game and just take this bishop. Like once the bishop on d6 falls, I think black का पूरा attack, रफू चक्कर हो जाता है. There is nothing on the board for black anymore, and white is just completely winning in the center and the queen side. Arjun can tie for first, but it's not guaranteed. उसके लिए दोनों लीडर्स को हारना पड़ेगा आज, which is again like out of our control. So उसका सोचना is kind of useless. I don't think they will both lose. So अर्जुन के जीतने के chances कम है first आने के, but फिलहाल के लिए let's do what's under our control actually. भाई चैलेंजर्स चेक किया हमने यार. आई थिंक इंडिया इज इन फोर्थ. आई थिंक वहां पे तो एक बंदा जल्दी जीत चुका है 7 पॉइंट के साथ. इट्स लाइक नॉट इवन अ कॉम्पिटिशन. Does Arjun know it's his move? Yes, bhai. He's looking into the camera right now at you for that ridiculous suggestion. भाई ये अटके हुए हैं कि अर्जुन घूर रहा है मुझे. Arjun भाई, oh, भाई, was he staring for that long? वाह भाई, चेस में क्या पता ही लगता है वीडियो की फोटो है. वो could you see this getting wrong for Arjun? Um, yes, it could go wrong, but I don't see this going wrong after c4. समझ रहे हो? Like after c4, I don't see this going wrong. So Arjun के लिए ये move is rather crucial. If he can ace this one, I think we are safe. I think we are very, very safe. So crucial moment here for Arjun Erigasi. Mother, we have Greece fans in the chat as well. You got it, Nicholas. I think he had a chance. He missed it though, Nicholas. He had a great opportunity. Instead of 97, he could have played bishop to h2, and that would have been an absolute treat, or even f4. But he made a mistake, and now it looks like Arjun is in the driver's seat. Arjun Tikubai is like hydrogen bomb of cuffing baby. Bye. I have drawn against Arjun once in my life. Like I've played him twice. I lost once, do once. So like it's not a difference, नहीं brother. At least on paper, yeah. Head to head score. C4 के लिए कितना सोचना? I think he's also not considering that move, right? He's thinking of other moves. Rook B7, for example. Can I just pick up this pawn? He can. But for example, Rook B7 खेला अगर, black is kind of forced to sack a piece now, like F4, H takes G4 and F3. And now Queen H2 is made. G3 pe, of course, he will take. So Knight F3 is the only move. Rook F3 now, threatening mate again. And now the only move for Arjun is Rook to E5. Look at the beauty of that move. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and now Rook FF8. And the game is, well, slightly better for Arjun, I think, with the, some pawns, bishop, weak pawns here, but very hard to even assess this position. Key, it is better for white. So I think going back, C4 is the cleanest. It's the cleanest way for Arjun to say, you know what? I think this bishop is a dangerous piece and I want to eliminate it. So let me play C4 here. Tiko, as you mentioned, do you know Vantika SRCC? How could good so many? ये क्या है भाई? I don't even know what that statement is. Arjun की एज भाई, एज नहीं, आई कैन टेल यू द रेटिंग. ही वाज 237 समथिंग, आई थिंक 2370 था. बट विद इन अ मंथ ऑफ दैट गेम, लाइक 2 months ऑफ दैट गेम, ही बिकेम अ जीएम. सो उसका लेवल आई थिंक एट दैट पॉइंट वाज ऑलरेडी अराउंड 2500 व्हेन आई ड्रू. सो ओके, नॉट एज स्ट्रांग बट स्टिल. अगर अर्जुन इतना वेई के अगेंस्ट इतना सोचता इन वर्ल्ड कप, तो शायद संदर्भ की जगह आज वो हो सकता था. यार देखो, हाइंडसाइट में ना 100 चीजें तुम सोच सकते हो कि भाई अगर ये कर लेता तो वो हो जाता, ये कर लेता तो वो हो जाता. ऐसे तो भाई यू कैन चेंज एनीथिंग. या सो आई वुड से कि फ्यूचर की तरफ देखो, करंट की तरफ देखो जो हाथ में है, एंड लर्न लेसन्स फ्रॉम द पास्ट एंड जस्ट इंप्लीमेंट इन द करंट. पास्ट में रिग्रेट नहीं करना चाहिए भाई. लाइक इट्स काइंड ऑफ यूज, यू स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ एनर्जी बाय थिंकिंग अबाउट दिस. Come on, come on. Still no moves. भाई इतना सोच रहा है अर्जुन ने, थोड़ा डर लग रहा है बिकॉज 31 minutes है. And we don't want Arjun to have no time on the clock because चाले सिर्फ 19 हुई हैं. And still 21 moves to play in 31 minutes. Like, of course, if this simplifies, it's going to get easy. But now I'm really hoping he finds C4. Otherwise, this could get tricky, chat. This could get tricky. And Nicholas is smart, yeah? He's kind of using Arjun's time. He's not getting up and chilling. He's calculating all the variations. He knows he has an opportunity here. So Arjun should play C4. Agarwal graduated from SRCC. Oh, that's amazing. I think there's some sports quota as well in these DU colleges. So she might have taken advantage of it. But I know Vantika is very good at studies also. I've talked to her mom before. But regardless, I think that's amazing, man. He's challenging Vidit in time management. अरे यार ब्रो, विदित कैचिंग स्ट्रेस भाई नहीं, आई थिंक यार देखो काफी टाइम बाद खेलते हो ना, सो टाइम मैनेजमेंट ऑलवेज इज वन ऑफ योर बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम्स. इट वाज इवन फॉर मैग्नस कार्लसन एट नॉर्वे चेस, सो वी शुडंट रियली स्ट्रेस अबाउट इट. आई वुड से विदित इन हिज नेक्स्ट इवेंट should make sure it's not a problem because he's going to have time to work on it now. Whenever he's playing the next event, उसमें issue नहीं होना चाहिए because that literally cost him at least a couple of points here. What would you play? Yeah, see, if I could calculate c4, I would play c4. But is it easy? I'm not so sure, yeah? Like, because rook f6, rook g6, knight g6, knight f4, bishop h3. There are so many ideas for black that. Another good question, c4, c6 pe kya hoga? It looks like a very good move, but you're thinking, I can just play rook b3 here. At the very least, defend the third rank, attack is over by. Khatam. That's simple. And you got to play, he takes on b7! By Ajju Bhai didn't find C4 and इकलौता मौका Nico के पास, Nicolas के पास to go F4 now. Last opportunity. If he plays bishop h5, I think this is over. I think Arjun is gonna squeeze this down easily उसके बाद. He has to go F4 now, भाई. Knight g6 के बाद तो I mean it's absolutely done and dusted. Like फिर तो I think C4 is even better now. It's literally lost. Although wait. Wait. एक second. Wait, chat. Knight g6. Okay. c4. Is bishop h2 still a possibility? King h2, queen f4. Idea could be knight h4 and knight f3, knight f4 and knight g2. And in this position, the only move for white is rook to e5, giving up the knight. Bhai, and look at this. Black can take, but the best move is completely ignoring this rook, just like your crush ignored you, and now play f4. And now, I mean, what is this chess? Look at this. The best move, chat, I know kuch log kahenge Indian variations, but I want to show you what best chess looks like sometimes. The best move is taking the pawn with the pawn, and now bishop takes h3. I am sorry, what? Because king takes queen h4 is mate. White plays queen c7 now, threatening mate of his own. Queen check. Now king h1 is a blunder. King g1 only move. And now knight h4, defending mate like this. Brother, what is this chess? And okay, Arjun is winning in this position, but okay, this is far from simple. Okay, I have to go back. इतना fantasy land मुझे दोबारा नहीं जाना है because निको भाई खेलते नहीं है फिर. निको भाई दिल तोड़ देते हैं उसके बाद फिर. Like he will show us these hopes of crazy attacking games and he will not play it. So I don't want to give you too much hopes, chat, this time. I will wait for Nico to first play. Let's see. Way above your head? Bhai, this would go above anybody's head. So let's see, chat, what happens now. Rook b7 ke baad f4 is the best move. But even knight g6, I think, gives some, practical, let's say, fireworks for us to enjoy. But Nico has 38 minutes. He's already, 8 minutes ahead of Arjun. So he can use some time. It's possible Arjun was looking at this line. Because, Chad, the thing is, आपको अपने opponent की अगली चाल समझने के लिए you have to look at his previous move sometimes, because his previous move will give you a hint, right? What is he thinking? So because he played knight e7, it's automatic that maybe the knight wants to go somewhere, and knight g6 is the best move. Like it feels like the only, you will not play knight g8, right? That makes no sense. Knight c8, no sense. So knight g6 feels like an automatic move. So rook b7 feels like the move here. Let's see what happens. Mother mean of game, by the way, brief look at the mother mean of game. So mother mean of is right now still better against hands. So Arjun के tournament जीतने के chances very, very low. Also the game of Vokidov feels like a draw. So यहाँ पे भी बहुत कम chances of Arjun winning the event, because again, these guys just need a draw to make sure कि कोई और ये tournament ना जीते. And ये वाला draw हो सकता है. So this might go our way, but Vokidov and Madnaminov हारने के लिए ready नहीं लग रहे मुझे. So going back to this position of the Arjun game, let's see what Nicholas will play. Arjun really channeling his inner Tikku. I wish this was me. If I could play games like this, brother, I would play every single day of my life. Yeah. By the way, Rook B7 is where we are right now. Let's see what he does. Crucial moment. Nicholas thinking, one plan he could employ is move fast. If he has used Arjun's time well, he could play very quickly and then kind of put pressure on Arjun. Like he could really put pressure on Arjun. Come on, bhai, let's go. Still no moves, still no moves. Uh, do something make Arjun win this event. Yeah, I think, Arjun missed out on a. He goes F4. He finds the best move. So Nicholas by attack build karte hue and chat for Arjun. There's only one move now. He has to take that free bishop. I think he will take it very quickly, is my guess, because F4 is an automatic move. That's the first move Arjun would have considered. So he should take that bishop quickly. Bishop, I mean, he's already played it, so let's not focus on bishop h5 now. Come on, Arjun, take it, take it, take it, take it. Let's go. Yes, he takes it. And now only move for black is f3. He has to continue as if nothing happened. Let's go. भाई ये गेम मजेदार है भाई, मजा आ गया गेम देख के यार. Goes for it. And now only, by the way, queen h2 mate ka threat hai, and Arjun instantly takes with the knight. If you had played g3 chat, it's an automatic idea for black. He can take with the bishop, of course. That's a possibility. But you know what's the best move in this position, chat? I will show you the live position. By the way, what's the best move here? Come on, chat. What's the best move in this position for Nicholas? Come on, chat. Let's go. The best move would have been the beautiful queen takes g3, pawn takes f2 check, king h2, and the queen is resurrected. Huh? By tongue twister, by a word. Wow, what a move this would have been. But okay, f3, knight f3 played. Arjun plays the best move. Rook takes f3. Great move by Nicholas. And now Arjun finds the only move in the position because queen h2 mate aa raha hai. If you take the rook, it is game over. And there seems to be no other move. So he plays the best move, rook e5. Brilliancy on the board. And Arjun is now officially clearly better now. I think he's better now. वाह भाई, मजा आ गया. So interesting chat. This, I would say this tournament is coming to an end today. Chat, UzChess hasn't been like the craziest event of the year, of course. Like, of course, the timings are a bit uncomfortable. Jaldi, aaj ka timing to bhai subah 11:45 a.m. chalu tha stream. And, but I feel like this has also been a tournament which is going to help Vidit and Arjun evolve a bit because some weaknesses have been exposed clearly. Like Arjun struggled in a couple of games. He played some amazing chess, of course, but he struggled in a couple of games, including the one yesterday. And then, of course, of Vidit, I think it highlighted a lot of problems. Like, I think Vidit has been choosing tournaments on and off. He sometimes plays and takes a long break. It's also highlighted the problems with that strategy. Ki, bhai, if you take long breaks, then when you come back, you're going to be a bit rusty, right? Your opening prep is not up to date. Your tactics are rusty. Your time management is the one thing that really suffers. So is that plan something that's going to work for Vidit in the future? Only time will tell. So I think कुछ चीजें थोड़ी सी कुछ learning points मिले हैं दोनों Indians को. And tournament wise, I think it's also been an amazing event for the Uzbek youngsters, man. Like especially like हम सोच रहे थे इंडिया इज अ स्लाइट फेवरेट एट द ओलंपियाड बिकॉज board 4 and the reserve board for Uzbekistan weren't as big a threat, right? Because, okay, they have um, Nodirbek, they have Sindarov, and they have Yakubov. But then suddenly, Vokhitov as well as, Madaminov have proven कि भाई Sindarov is a full force team. All the five boards can beat anybody in the world already. So it's been also an eye-opening tournament for the rest of the world to kind of observe the talent that Uzbekistan has. Question for you, Digvai. Which player in this tournament has the highest peak rating and what is the rating? I think maybe Arjun has the highest peak rating, right? 2809. I don't know anybody else in this event who's touched 2800. Why is move it? So a brilliant move has to do two, three things. One is it has to be a sacrifice, which this is because you're sacrificing a rook for a bishop. Next, it has to be an only move, I think. So if there are three alternatives, it can't be a brilliancy. So that also this has. And it also has to be the best move, right? So it has to be an only move, it has to be the best move, and it has to be the sacrifice. So ये दो तीन चीजें criteria होते हैं, and this kind of fits all of them. And now the only move for black is to take the rook chat. Anything else, and Nico is dead lost. So, Shaq was, you're right. Shaq was 282. Yeah, you're right. Shaq has the highest peak rating. You're right, chat. My bad. I forgot Shaq was there. Yep. Absolutely correct. Right, chat, तुम crazy हो यार. So looks interesting. And meanwhile, अर्जुन का नेक्स्ट टूर्नामेंट कौन सा है? चैट, अर्जुन का नेक्स्ट इवेंट आई थिंक इज चेन्नई जीएम. And that's going to be in the mid of July, exactly a month from now. So I think that's going to be exciting. Maybe he wins his first tournament at at his not his home ground exactly, but a tournament which is close to his heart, I think. By the way, takes place the best move. Now D takes, and now let's put that rook back, Nico. Bhai, rook ko bacha lete hain ab, and he puts it back. So the game is on, chat. Material wise, 1, 2, 3, 4. And okay, Madhuri is not happy. She wanted all the till 13, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I have a bishop for a rook. So basically, white has a bishop and 2 pawns for a rook. But the problem for black is now there is no attack. My king is very safe. And also, I have the bishop pair, and these pawns are weak. So, for example, it gets tougher for black now to use that rook. The rook on f8 is a problem, for example, in some lines. At some point, I'm going to defend this weakness. And look at Arjun here playing the best move, queen e2, defends this pawn, keeps this defended, defends this. मतलब बोलते ना, like कोई ये रानी मतलब अलग ही है अर्जुन की, मतलब सब कुछ डिफेंड करके बैठा हुआ है. Meanwhile, chat, no moves by Nico. Now is the moment when he stabilizes. He's going to take his time a little bit, try to figure out what is the current scenario, what are the best squares for my pieces. And as you can see with that blue arrow, this is the problem. The best move is now knight c6. And if you play rook takes c7, for example, there is knight takes c5. And the idea is queen takes c5 ke baad, there is queen f2. So essentially, you have to attack this pawn. And knight g6 doesn't seem to work because of g3. And this is locked. And if knight c6 pe you play g3, then suddenly queen e7. And this is somehow better for black. So काफी awkward play hai bhai. Why is this better than the other variation? God knows. So very difficult position for Nico practically to suddenly put his back on the knight on c6. So I think अगली 2-3 चाल में he could just make a game losing blunder. I think he could just make a game losing blunder. I think. Okay, I thought he was out to play. Tell who won the tournament? We don't know just yet. हम भी mystery में आपके साथ यार. Madaminov bhai and Vukidov bhai both are fighting for it, and Madaminov right now slightly better, so the favorite to win the entire event. Sindaros second is winning tournaments ahead of all the other players in the world. Bhai, क्या बंदा है? Nicholas can play G6. I think it's possible. But okay, let me think. So now, you know what, I want to get to this pawn. That's the goal, right? That's the point of knight c6 knight e5. I think Nicholas will sense कि भाई ये f2 pawn जो है मुझे यहाँ पहुंचना है. That's the only way I can create counterplay. Because g2 कभी पहुंच नहीं सकते because bishop is defending it. And with the bishop on d6 gone, h2 is out of the question. And there are no weaknesses. Like a2 कभी मर भी गया तो it's not the end of the world for white. I think white can defend. White can just play a3 for example, and there's no way you get to that pawn now. So f2 is the point. It's the only weakness, and he needs to find a way to get to it. This knight is not reaching there. Why? I'm sorry, but this knight can't reach f2. So the idea is to use these two pieces and somehow get to f2 by. So that might help Nico narrow down the moves. See, I told you, knight c6 is impossible. He finds the correct idea, but he plays knight g6. And I think I understand what's happening. After g3 only move for Arjun, queen e7, the difference is now white can play this move f4. And somehow the knight on g6 is now not well placed because it doesn't have h4, doesn't have f4, doesn't have e5, and it's basically gone. Like, and look, Arjun, kya banda hai yaar, place it instantly. Wow. Crushing Nico's hopes. Yeah, I think this is basically lost now, Chad. This is very tough. Prag was never invited to Chennai. Probably he didn't get through challenges. I don't think so. That's the case. I think Prag को invite to किया होगा यार 100% because Prag lives in Chennai. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to play also, like also a possibility. Because Prag is the guy who plays the most, right? So um, Prag plays the maximum number of events in a year among Indian players. I think we can all agree to that. And Chennai GM Issar, at least, the fact that I don't know all the details of Chennai GM tells you that it kind of got finalized a bit late. That's my guess. So maybe the invites went a bit late and Prague had already committed to some other event or something. That's my guess on what happened. But I'm all guessing, by the way. I have no concrete idea here. But Prague, I think, would definitely be invited. I don't see why he wouldn't be invited to Chennai GM. It's his hometown, yeah? Who wouldn't want to see Prague play in Chennai? साहब अमीर बिल्ली को क्या बोलते हैं अंशुल अंशुल इज अ गुड नेम आई थिंक वी कैन कॉल हिम अंशुल आज से हैंस भाई हराओ यार को यार उम्मीद तो यही है बट हैंस भाई कह रहे हैं नहीं भाई हार के ही जाऊंगा आज 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 मूड में नहीं लग रहा है हैंस भाई अच्छी चेस खेलने के यार हैंस भाई कम ऑन थोड़ा प्रेशर बनाओ यार एक दो पॉन वॉन चटकाओ थोड़ा मजे करो यार कम ऑन हैंस भाई जल्दी बाय द वे गोइंग टू द अर्जुन गेम अगेन f4 खेल दिया है उन्होंने now look at this knight yeah let's look at the same position the knight on c6 now let's say उसने knight c6 खेला होता g3 queen e7 and now f4 and suddenly there is for example queen c5 check king h2 and now d4 and you can see how the knight is supporting this pawn for example takes queen takes c1 mar raha hai and if you play for example I don't know what do you play actually it is not clear um bishop g2 for example queen takes c3 okay even this to be honest doesn't look like black can win this at all like I still prefer white but I kind of get why the knight on c6 is better placed than the knight on g6 like I still understand that part at least and what if I take on c7 then queen b6 is a tricky move this is the move which is the tricky move because you attack the rook now and if rook d7 there is queen to b1 by who will find all this stuff? I mean, who will find all this stuff? Sometimes chess is just too vague, man, too complicated. Okay, very, very hard for Nico to find this. He's World Rapid Team Championship and Bullet Championship. Yeah, exactly my point, I think. Um, was King G... Did you say King G6? I think you mean Knight G6. Pehle confirm batao bhai. I don't think King G6 is possible. Knight G6 before Rook A4. Rook A4 never came on the board actually. Okay. By the way, 27 minutes now to play what 14 moves. Okay, I think time is less of a worry, but tough. What happened to Abdul Sarf game yesterday? Why we showed a video in this stream, जहां पे नोदरबेक जी जल्दबाजी में रुक ब्लंडर कर दिए and he completely forgot his rook was hanging. Reminded me of the blunder that Gukesh made actually in Tata Steel against Nodirbek himself. I feel it's like a virus, yeah. The virus spread from Gukesh to Nodirbek and now Nodirbek spread it to I think Nico. तो निको भाई शायद रुक अभी यहाँ कुछ खेल देंगे F6 I don't know. Chess is full of dogs so here I am. अरे यार बताओ सेल्फ असेसमेंट इतनी नेगेटिव मैंने ऐसे द ओनली पर्सन हु सेज दैट इज अच्छा यू मेंट चेस 24 चैट नहीं नहीं भाई नहीं 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 आई थिंक आप अगर अपनी बात कर रहे हैं देन आई थिंक यू आर ऑन द लेवल ऑफ विक देसाई देन आई थिंक आप उस लेवल बातें कर रहे हो यो भाई प्लीज गिव मी अ शाउट आउट यो शाउट आउट भाई देते भाई आपका नाम भी मेरी तरह मतलब बिल्कुल कॉमन है एक बंदे को देते शाउट आउट दो तो 10 लोगों को मिल जाता चैट में भाई चैट साहिल इज द सच अ कॉमन नेम मैन लाइक आई समटाइम्स फील लाइक क्या ही नाम है भाई फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम गोना सर्च ऑन माय इंस्टाग्राम ठीक है आई एम गोना टाइप साहिल ठीक है अपने फॉलोअर्स में आई टेल यू कितने साहिल आ रहे हैं ठीक है 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 रीलोड हो रहा है रीलोड हो रहा है 25 अरे नेट चलना भाई वाई इज इट रिफ्रेशिंग मतलब एक सेकंड यार आई एम टेस्टिंग कितने साहिल सिर्फ मेरे फॉलोअर्स लिस्ट में है भाई आई एम टेलिंग यू लाइक साहिल इज सच अ कॉमन नेम लाइक कोई हाँ 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 50 भाई हिंदी काउंटिंग मेरी क्या क्रेजी है भाई 50 साहिल हो गए ऑलरेडी स्टिल लोडिंग भाई कितने साहिल है भाई दुनिया में यार कितना कॉमन नेम है यार अपने बेटे का नाम है कुछ अलग ही रखूंगा भाई चैट सजेस्ट सम क्रेजी नेम्स लाइक यूनिक नेम्स अभी भी रिफ्रेश ही हो रहा है यार कम ऑन यार लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड इन लाइफ भाई रिफ्रेश क्यों नहीं हो रहा है यार चैट तुम्हारे काउंट से पढ़ूंगा पहले मैं सारे साहिल काउंट तो कर लूं हाँ सो कहा गया यस 51 52 53 54 55 6 7 8 9 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 70 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 भाई 100 साहिल है पूरे पूरे 100 साहिल है मेरे फॉलो भाई 100 तो साहिल फॉलो करते हैं ओ माय गॉड भाई क्या बेसिक नाम है यार साहिल यार शिट यार आई एम डिसअपॉइंटेड आई लव इट दो मजाक कर रहा हूँ आई लव माय नेम बट काफी कॉमन है इट्स टू कॉमन फॉर माय टेस्ट बल बसोर बल बसोर नहीं यार बेटे का ना बल बसोर होगा तो कोई कैप्चर ना कर ले उसको नो मोर कॉमन देन आयुष विंडो के बाहर चलाएंगे तो दो मिल जाएंगे आई डिसअग्री भाई आई थिंक साहिल इज मच मोर कॉमन देन आयुष लाइक रोहन रमेश लाइक ऐसे नाम और कॉमन हो सकते हैं अभिषेक इज प्रॉब्ली द मोस्ट कॉमन नेम इन इंडिया आई एम गेसिंग हाउ इज विदित डूइंग विदित भाई ऑलरेडी करके निकल भी गए भाई उनको 2 घंटे हो गए निकले हुए बाय द वे वीडियो आई लेफ्ट 2 hours अगो विद दैट ड्रॉ राहुल यस राहुल नाम तो सुना होगा ऑफ कोर्स सबसे कॉमन शिवम आल्सो यस वेरी आई नो एटलीस्ट 20 शिवम्स Aryan is not that common compared to Shubham or Abhishek or Sahil. I think Aryan is less common. Rahul, I think Rahul, Abhishek, शुभम आई थिंक ये 3 नाम सबसे कॉमन है आई थिंक दुनिया में इंडिया में एटलीस्ट आदित्य ऑल्सो बट स्टिल आई थिंक ये राहुल अभिषेक और शुभम ये 3 आई थिंक आर द मोस्ट कॉमन नेम्स सबसे कूल नेम यश है किसी कौन सी दुनिया में भाई ओके मीनवाइल नाम से आते हैं मूव्स के ऊपर स्टिल नो मूव्स बाय निको एंड आई I mean, you have to think, yeah, black has these rooks. How can they become active? Because I would love to double up rooks on the A file, but then I will just play A3. So you can't really utilize the A file. Second option is the B file. Then maybe rook FB8 is the second best move then. W chess commentary. Thank you, bhai. I think नामकरण वैसे भी I think वो सेंसस चल रहा है अभी इंडिया में. So you know कितने साहिल दुनिया में, I would love to know इंडिया में at least. Abhishek, Shivam भी common है, but again nothing matches these three names. Abhishek, शुभम और एक और हमने कुछ बोला था I think. By the way, he finds the best move. So nice, rook fb8. And chat, the goal is to get to the b1 square ideally. At least create some counterplay, right? Because queen c5 check, rook b1. You can see how things can maybe go wrong long term. And now, of course, Arjun does not have another rook to double up. So I think he has to take. And after rook takes b8, he should find a way to start pushing these pawns. अगर अर्जुन इंतजार करते हैं, let's say a random move, I don't know, a3 for example, then suddenly you can see the bar jumps down, queen c5, and if king h2, then suddenly queen c3 ke baad, this is already winning for black, chat, because the rook is coming in. And if the bishop is attacked, if you move the bishop, then rook b2, the queen is lost. So you have to be careful as Arjun. You cannot take it lightly. And that's why he should start pushing these pawns as soon as possible, ताकि ब्लैक क्वीन यहां पे ज्यादा एंटर ना कर पाए. निकोलस की क्वीन बहुत स्ट्रांग है and she can enter the position at any point. She's very angry right now. And if she was texting me something, she would say, Nicholas, bhai, best chale khelo. So I think Nicholas bhai will find queen c5, will find rook b1 ideas, queen c3. So I'm hoping कि यहाँ पे अर्जुन भाई बेस्ट चाल खेलेंगे, which is e6 by the way. Very logical, I think, in this position. At some point f5 as well. I'm thinking, can you play a move like bishop e3 just to prevent this check? Also looks logical, but queen a3 is the nuisance then. Then rook b2 might be like a problem here. But let's see. Salva, if last seed will win the tournament, it will be very unique overall. I agree, man. That'll be an eye-opener for everybody in the world. Why अगर सिंदारो का second tournament जीत सकता है? And what can Sindarov do? सैक टिक्कू भाई मुझे क्यों सैक कर रहे हो भाई? मुझे सैक मत करो यार, मुझे अभी कुछ काम करने हैं जिंदगी में. आज जल्दी शुरू हो गया. ये लो, हम साहिल नाम की बात कर रहे थे. ये लो भाई, चैट में आ गए दो साहिल भाई, ये लो. Yes, the c1 bishop does look bad though. I agree. I think this bishop belongs ideally on after pushing these pawns, when the knight has moved, maybe on f4, maybe on e3 and d4 also to attack the king side long term. But there's c5, of course, you have to factor in. So, of course, not c1 though. It needs to be somewhere else. But pehle, I think you have to take. I don't think you have another move. There's rook b2, of course, rook b3, rook b2, for example. Ki maroge to main queen se bishop se marunga, but I feel like it's too artificial a move. Yeah, he takes. Best move played on the board by Arjun very quickly. Nice. Sindarov is now Uzbek number 1. भाई वो उनका भी battle चल रहा है Uzbek number 1 or 2 के बीच. So Nodirbek will of course try to win today's game, but looks tough. It's going to likely end in a draw. And yeah, they will have their separate battle. Come on, Najju bhai, jaldi khelo thoda yaar. 12 chale. Okay, he has enough time. It's not really a worry, but this game is still not over. I think e6 seems to be the best move here. And that is to just push the pawn. And now if queen c5 check, you can aram se play even queen e3. And if takes, chat, I think this is the exact position white wants. Why? Because queen exchange ho gayi. Now c5 is never possible. We've controlled that square. And now we can aram se push the f pawn. Ye ek pass pawn ho gaya. Ye dusra pass pawn ho gaya. And potentially we could have a third one also soon. So this is the ideal dream position for Arjun. Bishop pair, bishops ready to support that pawn all the way to a7. And this is going to be a nightmare for Nicholas to defend. So going back, I think what Nicholas needs to do is basically not trade queens and hope that Arjun doesn't push his pawns too early. Is this objectively winning? I would say it's on the borderline. I don't think it's like objectively winning by force just yet. There might be some force sequence of moves jahan se Nicholas can defend it, but practically can he do so? It's tough. Uzbek flag चल रहा है chat में. Yes, of course, great play, बढ़िया. Can Nicholas bishop rook for c1 rook? But okay, I mean, why would you give the rook for the bishop? Yeah, like that doesn't make sense. I have a rook, I have to use it to attack these pieces, not give them up. Because agar Nicholas loses any more material here, then he's going to be dead lost. He cannot lose any more material though. And he has 23 minutes, so time is not on his side either. By the way, Madaminov is close to winning against Hans Niemann now. By his last move, bishop d1 seems to be a mistake. Apparently, b5, if Madaminov finds, he could be literally close to winning this game. And iska matlab जानते हो चैट? इसका matlab he's going to win the event. Wow. ठीक भाई, अपने वीडियो का पास भाई रोज तो शॉर्ट फॉर्म डाल रहा हूँ चैनल पे, रोज तो आ रही है एक एक वीडियो. पासवर्ड कैसे भूल गया? वाओ मैन, क्या बंदा है यार. हैट्स ऑफ. गोइंग बैक टू द अर्जुन गेम. अज्जू भाई खेल दो कोई बढ़िया चाल, e6 खेल दो यार. लेट्स गो. Chess is also a game of who makes most of weirdest faces or most unique thinking positions. I think that's an interesting way to look at it. I kind of agree. It's not for the players per se, but for us to enjoy. You know, for example, like Arjun abhi kuch crazy kar de expressions, or even let's say Nicholas has some crazy expressions, then we're going to enjoy the time when the players are thinking more. So it's for sure true. But at the end, also like most players don't even realize the kind of faces they are making, I think. So it's just kind of involuntary reactions in most cases. So let's see what happens. Why not c4? Kids are expert at making faces. I agree, man. Kids are experts at doing many things. Playing chess in general. साल भाई शादी के बाद फॉर्म चला था क्या? मैं देखो, आई एम नॉट अ गुड टेस्ट सब्जेक्ट फॉर दिस एक्सपेरिमेंट बिकॉज मेरी फॉर्म पहले ही खराब थी. सो I shouldn't really be part of this experiment, but I would say not really. I think at least my online rating is increasing. It's at its peak right now, 2700 in Bullet. So I would say no, but maybe I'm not the best test subject for this. I saw India's top 5 are Arjun, Prag, Nihal, Lokesh, and Vidit. So ye hoga apna Olympiad. Yes. Maybe not in that board order though. Like maybe the board order might be different, but yes, these 5 are likely to be the Indian Olympiad team. Bullet tournament hoga, yes. And this will happen from 23rd or 24th of June. And we'll have Nihal and Arjun playing from India. And it's going to be exciting, man, because Nihal has really improved as a player. So maybe he could have a good chance at winning this time. And Firouz are not in peak shape. Yeah, he also has that, leg that I'm not sure if he's recovered from that injury yet. So थोड़े chances होंगे निहाल के पास जीतने के. वो ग्लास में क्या रखा है भाई? कॉफी होगी यार. Would you value this position according to you, not engine? I think it does look better for white. There's no doubt. Like optically, देखो ना यार. Like my king looks safe right now. Your knight on g6 is stupid. I have the bishop pair, but I do sense that black has some really good counter-attacking chances. Like it's not like a one-way street. Agar yahan queen c3 aa gaya, then I cannot really ever move this bishop, right? Because rook b2 aayega fir. So I sense it's dangerous for white also potentially. Now, would I evaluate this as plus 1.7? जो engine कह रहा है, maybe not. Maybe like plus 1 I would evaluate. But I think I would understand कि white is better. इतना समझ में आ रहा है देख के. Occasionally part of Olympiad. Bhai, I mean, how can you say Ukesh should not be part of Olympiad? Yeah, that's really wrong. No, like I mean, he's the world champion, and even at his worst form, he's gonna be at least 2700. कब अनाउंस करेंगे? आई थिंक जुलाई में आ जाएगा, वेरी लाइकली. मतलब अर्जुन अपने स्टेप्स पूरे करते हुए, ही इज नॉट रियली worried about much of this stuff. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Checking some stuff. Still no. Okay, still waiting, still waiting. No moves. सहज भाई कहाँ गए? सहज भाई चिल कर रहे हैं भाई, सो रहे होंगे अभी या जस्ट उठे होंगे. What do you use about world champ being 25th rank? I think that's a very interesting question, right? Because it's heavily loaded as well, because it means a lot of things. For different people, it might be different things, but one thing is going to be true for sure, that he's not in form. I do think objectively the world champion should not be world number 25. Um, but when he did become world champion, he was like world top five, right? At that point, at least. So it still doesn't look wrong, but I do feel like something has to change in Gukesh's mindset though. Trying to go from why is the world champion world number 25, the question I'm changing to now is why is he world number 25 and how can he kind of raise his, level of play again. And I think there's something about his psyche which is not great right now. I don't know what it is. It could just be the pressure, it could be other stuff, maybe his personal life in some shape or form. We just don't know. And we saw some interviews, right? And he mentioned it's very hard to enjoy chess for him right now. And especially when Arjun is getting some form back, Prag is getting some form back. We already saw Divya play some great chess. We already saw, I think, other players as well, kind of even Pranesh and all these guys play some great chess. So I think kind of Mukesh is the one who's kind of struggling. Vidit, of course, has not played as much. So I think he will also hopefully improve. So he's the one struggling the most right now, to be honest. Nihal also, by the way, I mean, what amazing chess he's played this year. If I was from a different country, would you have gotten more advice? I think so, yes, actually, Rohit Bhai. I think so, because I think it's just you don't want to have like half the field from one country, right? It just looks weird. Vaishali, of course. How can I forget Vaishali, of course? Like, you don't want to have half the field from one country. Like, agar 8 player hai, 4 India se hai kahin bahar mein, it will look very weird, right? I mean, it doesn't look like a fair field. So I do agree. Arjun will get more invites. Even Nehal will get more invites if he was not from India. But I think being in India means they get the toughest competition, and they wouldn't likely have been where they are if they were not from India as well. I am not choosing Gukesh over India. I'm saying Gukesh gives India the best chance of winning the Olympiad, actually. Without Gukesh, India's team would be much, much weaker. Why not c4? Yeah, dekho, he's anyway planning to give this check, and then the c4 pawn would just be hanging in that case. So why would I give that pawn for free? It doesn't make sense, because he has this queen c5 check, and let's say c4 khela apne, I play queen c5 check, or even d4. Why can't I play d4? And suddenly black has a passed pawn. If you allow me to play c5, then I have a protected passed pawn. Not so happy about that either, I think. Yeah, let's keep the pawns here. Vokidov draw. Ore! Vokidov has drawn his game, chat. That's a big result. Nodirbek, with his ambition, with his play, could not convert that game. In fact, he was a pawn down at the end. And that means Arjun officially cannot win this event anymore, because Vokidov has gone to 5.5. Now, either Madaminov also draws, and then these guys have a tiebreak, or Madaminov just wins and he wins the event. So Arjun officially cannot win this event anymore. Can someone even doubt Vishnu? Exactly. Has Hari Krishna tired? No, he's still playing, of course, but I think Hari Krishna maybe doesn't play as much nowadays. The last time I met him was at the World Rapid Level Blitz, like he played that event. But he doesn't live in India also sometimes. So sometimes it can be very tough to track his events, right? Somebody who only plays in Europe. And he doesn't get invites again for the same reason, I think, because India में competition बहुत ज़्यादा है. Okay, let's go full screen again because Arjun is holding his head in his hand. Okay, very interesting. Is there something that's bothering him? Because he's been thinking for 12 minutes now. That's not a short thing by Arjun standards. Clearly, he's sensing some problems for White here. Also, 18 minutes for 12 moves. Now it's getting a bit tricky because he started with 30 minutes. Now 17 minutes on his clock. Because ambition cost India 2022 Olympiad. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. True, to some degree, but I think it's very hard to say it cost us because he's the one who got us in the first place, on the launch pad, jahan pe we had a chance. But I do agree, ambition can be a double-edged sword though. What happened to guys like Sasikira, Divan, Seturaman? Yeah, but again, um, all these guys have been 2700, 2650 before. So they are very strong players. But I think chess is a young man's game. Look at all the players at the top right now. Like if you exclude Magnus, Caruana, and Hikaru, what you will notice is the average age is very, very low. You look at Sindarov, Nodirbek, Kamer, Arjun, Prag, Kukesh, Nehal. You look at like any player, like majority of the top players and the rising players, right? Players who are really gaining rating, gaining points, they are mostly youngsters. And that's why it's very hard for anybody, by the way, who's older, has more responsibilities, to devote 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day to chess. Like, I mean, I am married, and at some point you have some work to do at home. Yeah, you can't just spend 10 hours a day practicing chess. It's not possible. So yeah, it's very tough, man. It's very tough for somebody like Adiban or Sasikaran to kind of suddenly decide, okay, I'm gonna reach 2750 again. It's very, very tough. And kids learn faster as well. Great point, Mr. Kessel. Because I think वो बोलते हैं ना एक इलास्टिक मेमोरी क्या बोलते हैं उसको पता नहीं, like you grasp thing and remember things very quickly at a young age. एरिगेसी का सरनेम कहाँ है भाई? एरिगेसी सरनेम है भाई. अच्छा, एरिगेसी कहाँ का सरनेम है? I think he is like Arjun is Telugu, right? I should check this. I'm not sure. भाई ये तो सारा अर्जुन आ गई यार. एक सेकंड. देखा, अर्जुन also a common name. हाँ, तेलुगु है. He's Telugu actually. Not just chess, it's a phenomenon happening across sports. Cricket has Suryavanshi, true. Football has Lamine Yamal. Formula One has Kimi. Tennis has Alcaraz. Sports or sense is open. Yeah, I agree, man. I think to become like a top sports person now, you have to start very early. In fact, I think yesterday itself, I think I heard that, like I was just looking at this fact, and many of these top players started chess when they were 3 to, let's say, 5 years old. So it's not easy, chat, to become a top player. Why are there less local FIDE tournaments later half of this year? It's because World Championship. I mean, local FIDE tournaments, I don't know what you mean local, because I think there's always going to be like national or district or state level events happening in India 24/7. Like you click on any state and you'll find multiple of them. Bot winning against Mislov. But again, I think during those times, knowledge was not accessible. For example, before the computer era, right? If you had to become a top player, there were only two ways to learn. One was hiring a coach, and one was, again, going through the games of top players, books, and so on, and trying to grab knowledge. And it was not easy. Like, ऐसी वो अगर आपने वो movie देखी है, like Bobby Fischer वाली, like he had to go to the bookstore, get a magazine, and then look at all these top level games. But आजकल भाई अभी गेम हो रही है, live देख रहे हैं हम लोग यार. Literally watching the games live. So it's hard. Knowledge is now more accessible, and it's much easier for somebody in some remote part of the world to really take up chess seriously and just get better at it. पहले उतना आसान नहीं था. Ding is playing. True. Whether he'll play in form is a different question. By the way, Arjun about to play, he lifted up his hand and placed a minor mistake. Queen d3. Oof. Drama. He didn't find the best move, which was e6 here. He in turn attacks this. I think उसका plan है if queen c5 for example. Now the move black really wants to play, he wants to play bishop e3 basically, and he's defending this pawn. So against black's most obvious moves, this is a very good move actually. But I think black can now play queen e6 and attack this pawn. I think that's the problem here. Queen e6 or queen d7 is the best move for black. But will Nico find it though is the question, right? It's not easy. Once you play queen e6, you're not playing queen c5 check ever. You're never playing that move again. So tough one for Arjun, but okay, still close to winning though. I think not a big deal. Arjun gonna mess this up, isn't he? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. He's gonna win this one, chat. I think very likely he wins this one. Chat stream like, let's get more people in, because now that Vokidov has won, we are clearly not winning the event, so no tie breaks for us. But what we can do is watch Arjun win the final game. So that's likely going to happen. And when it happens, at least he has something to celebrate. And Arjun, by the way, is world number 9 right now. World number 9, yes. And he's going to gain some rating points from this. At least he'll recover most of what he's lost in this entire event. What about queen a6? Asa, you mean for white? I mean, queen a6 feels like आपने अपने king को अकेला छोड़ दिया, yeah? Like you've left your king all alone, and this is where I'm not surprised the bar has gone down in black's favor, because queen c5 check. This is the move he wanted to play. Now king h2, king g2, queen c3, bishop attacked, rook b2 incoming. Like this is very scary. Like I would not want to be white here. f5 loses the e5 pawn, chat. So I would love to play f5, but I can't do it. Who do you think you... can you beat Nicholas? Nahi yaar. I mean, of course not. He's very strong. 26 what? Live rating is 31, man. Definitely not. If I played 10 games against Nico, probably I can score like 2 draws. Maybe. I think maybe, yeah, 2 draws is the best. Maybe if there's some London, I can beat him. Maybe if I'm like in dream scenario, maybe 1.5, but 1 point out of 10 is what I'll get max. Nico queen d7. Yes, queen d7 also possible, I think. Also a very logical move. But again, once you play queen e6, queen d7, you're giving away queen c5 check. That's why it's tough. But that's why I like queen e6 more. Because queen e6 बाद queen b6 check possible था. He plays c6 and now bishop e3. Suddenly Arjun, देखो ना कितना smart है. जैसे ये खेला, now when you play this move, c5 is never possible now. Now Nico is stuck. There's no queen c5, there is no c5, and counterplay is kind of becoming, much and much more unlikely. So I think kind of white ka plan काम कर गया. Now I can even play c4 at the correct moment. Just take on d5 and weaken this pawn. Great plan. It worked for Arjun like a charm. Did you see Anish beefing with Tanya or commentary? अरे बाप रे भाई, वो भी देखा मैंने. I don't know what Anish meant. Like, it wasn't clear to me exactly what he meant. So I'm not going to go into it too much. But it was kind of interesting to see that. मैंने रात को 2 बजे देखा सोने से पहले उस दिन. So I was like, oh, ये क्या चल रहा है? टिक्कू लंदन में अर्जुन से ड्रॉ कर सकता है. टफ वन. अगर 10 गेम खेलूंगा मैं और 10 में मेरे वाइट है, will I draw at least 1 game? I don't know. Maybe. I would like to hope so at least, yeah. Maybe in the London, yes. I would say yes. Meanwhile, कॉले तो नहीं भाई. कॉले में तो मैं खुद ही रिजाइन कर दूंगा भाई. मैं E3 खेलने से पहले रिजाइन कर दूंगा. After a long run of games, if you set aside stamina, what is the difference between 26-27 player? Basically, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I'll come to what Magnus said about this before once I look at the move. By the way, Queen A3 played, so black is going for counterplay. But now the move we discussed, right? Bishop D4 is very strong because C5 के chances come हो चुके हैं. If Bishop D4 and now C5, for example, I can pull it back and now this is hanging. So your queen has moved away and you will lose this pawn. So, and if you can't go C5, then F5 and E6 is just resigns because your king is falling apart. And I think your counterplay is nothing compared to what you're going to face with these bishops and the queen coming up. So while he can just play bishop d4, he can even start with e6 just to kind of also point out the obvious back rank weaknesses there. Oh my, thanks for super chat. Chess is becoming a memory game. Will die in 2 years with noob kids, read AI and level up, plugged and hey. So, hey, ये क्या गंदी बातें लिख दी आपने भाई. देखो, I'll tell you 2 things. First of all, when computers came to chess, right? This was, I think, 1990s. I can tell you of a famous example. This was, I think, Matthew Sadler, who's a very, very strong GM. Okay? He's 2650. Wrote this book on open this कौन सा था वो, यार क्या बोलते हैं उसको, वो जो गूगल का वो था यार, क्या था वो चेस भाई जो एआई निकाला था उन्होंने स्टॉकफिश को हराने के लिए. Alpha Zero, yes, Alpha Zero, Alpha Zero. So he wrote a book on Alpha Zero. Great book. Like I read it twice, highly recommend it. And he mentions कि भाई जब 1990s में engines आए थे, computers आए थे, तो he thought chess is gonna die in a few years. He thought computers आ गए, they are much stronger than humans. Why would anybody watch humans play chess? ठीक है? And then he quit chess. He literally quit chess because of that. He's like, bhai, ab chess ka future khatam hai, let me do something else. And even now, like 30 years later, we are still looking at chess now. So I feel like, will AI change the world? For sure. Agreed. And that's one of the most exciting fields you can work in. But will it end chess? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think professional chess will have its own space. Does it mean that professional chess has become tougher and stronger? Yes, because people use AI for help. But will it end? I don't think so. The Arjun about to play. He has less than 12 minutes now. Come on, Arjun. I mean, he has to play, by the way, 10 moves in 11 minutes. It's getting a bit tough, yeah? Sorry, cool guy. Hey, thank you, brother. Thanks a lot, bhai. And meanwhile, 10 चाले बज गई बस. From tomorrow, यार वो कैमरा नहीं है भाई. यानी कोई बंदा उसके फीडिंग के कैमरा हमें दिलवा दे तो हम लाइव चले जाएंगे भाई कल परसों से. कोई भी दिलवा दे भाई, बट कैमरा नहीं हमारे पास है. So we can't do anything there. Yes, 2600. So Magnus Carlsen had this statement on what's the difference between him and like a 2700. So I think something like that also applies to 2700 or 2600. What Magnus said was two things. First of all, he's slightly better than an average 2700 at everything. At everything, matlab openings, middle game, tactics, end games, calculation, everything. Halka, like maybe 2%, 3% better. Next, he said he also has this intuitive feel, which many players don't. And that's a mix of talent and effort. The kind of training he's had as a kid. So I feel like वही difference 2700 और 2600 में भी है. They are slightly better at everything. And usually Kasparov, and usually chat, I don't know if you've seen this tennis analogy, but tennis mein, the number of percentage shots that somebody like Roger Federer wins is only like 1 or 2% higher than what an average world number 50 wins. It's not much different. But for 2% difference, like creates a huge difference in the rankings. Between the world top 1000 and Roger Federer, the difference was 5% or something. Like he wins 55%, the world number 1000 wins like 50%. So it's like difference is minute and there's very like incremental improvements you have to make in your chess to get better, I think. For example, अगर यहाँ 50 move की game है, the difference between what Magnus would play and what an average 2700 would play would be just one move difference, I think. But that one move makes a huge difference in the actual result of the game, right? So अब 2700 में एक मूव का डिफरेंस, 2600-2500 में एक मूव का डिफरेंस, 2500-2400 में एक मूव का डिफरेंस, 2500-2400. So if you keep counting like this, मैग्नस और मेरी गेम के बीच में so 2300, 2400, 2500, 6 मूव का डिफरेंस हो जाएगा भाई. 6 moves. And that's where I think the difference in skill comes in. Meanwhile, Nicholas Bhai also has 18 minutes now. And Arjun ka plan simple hai chat. F5, E6, and even F6 if allowed to just go full in on the king side. King on H8 is a right target. And black really needs something dramatic here. I don't even know what he can do. For example, if you go rook b2, yeah, trying to create counterplay, f5, you move the knight back, e6. I mean, this is just gone already. Already gone. You can see f6 aa raha hai, e7, e8 aa raha hai. I mean, you can basically resign. So black key moves are not easy. That's also the problem. It's not just the actual evaluation, but white's moves now are much, much easier because they just involve pushing the pawns. And black's moves are much tougher. And very important, ये सारे squares covered है. And once these three squares are covered, that means it's very hard for black to create counterplay. The only way black can win this if he gets the queen to h2 to deliver checkmate. But how can you even do so? उसके लिए आपको पहले रुक यहां क्वीन यहां, आई मीन यू डोंट हैव टाइम एंड देन चेकमेट. चार चालें थोड़ी मिलेंगी आपको. यहां पे चार चालें नई क्वीन बन जाएगी मेरी यार. सो आई थिंक this is objectively and practically lost for Nicholas, and Arjun is about to take home the full point. This is gone. Um, have you played Dubov? I have not played Dubov. I've talked to him a little bit. I think World Cup पे थोड़ा बहुत बात हुई थी Dubov से. He's a very interesting character actually. Is very high on confidence. Like I've not seen people who are this high on confidence. Like I think he genuinely feels that if he worked harder, he could be like in the world top 3. Like he's genuinely very high on confidence. That's very rare. Most players, I think chess players, are not that high on confidence. Like he's very high. You can see how he crushed Sindaro 3-0 from literally by laying down on his bed. So I think वो confidence उनका ऐसा ही है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते. How's your married life? Great, भाई. Married life is great. साहिल जलता है मुझसे कह रहे हैं सुधीर भाई. अरे भाई, that might be true, Sudhir bhai. You never know. Plug won this event last year, beating all those Uzbeks in tie breaks. Yeah, man, and this time he will not even make it to tie breaks. Okay, so still he's thinking, what will Nico play now? Still no moves. How do you actually study using databases? I mean, do you mean like against an opponent? See, I don't have to do it now because the last time I did it was for COB and I was helping Prakar. For that, I think the Chesscom Explorer page is more than sufficient because these guys play online, like all the COB participants. So that's the best way to do it. If you're playing professional chess over the board, then I think you need other resources like Chessbase. I think her top player ke paas hai. Of course, the Chesscom Explorer page will be useful. Try to get courses, चाहे Chessable के हो या कहीं और से हो. Like all these resources will be helpful, I think. So it depends. मैं भी स्ट्रीम पर आया विदित भाई 15 मिनट में गेम खत्म चला गया यार. 15 मिनट में he drew the game in like not 15 minutes but like 25 minutes I think he took overall, and he drew the game. How much time should it take for 1600 FIDE elo for 1,000 online? 1,000 online means you're not even FIDE rated. So it will take a decent amount of time with 1 hour a day. I think you can do it in just a few months with 6-7 hours a day, but 1 hour a day is going to be long. It will take you a few years. Come on. Nico bhai, time pe mat har jana yaar. Come on. साहब आप भी जीएम से अरे वाह, थैंक यू यार. थैंक यू. बट वो मैं खुद को कन्विंस नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बट थैंक यू. अर्जुन चिल कर रहा है. अर्जुन नोज इज ओवर. अर्जुन नोज कि भाई चिल है अब लाइफ. लाइक ये गेम तो अपनी है. ही इज थिंकिंग अबाउट कि वेब चेक इन मैंने किया है कि नहीं किया है. फ्लाइट है कल, पनवेल निकलना है, तो सीट अच्छी मिल जाए फ्लाइट में. Why Nihal Sarin not playing in major tournaments? He is. I think the thing is Nihal Sarin tournaments जो खेल रहे हैं, he's not getting the invites to tournaments like Norway Chess, for example. So, but he will be there. I don't know what's his next event though. Maybe I don't know if he's playing Chennai GM. Is he playing Chennai GM? I don't know because एक Indian का spot बचा है at the Chennai Grandmasters. Um, maybe he's playing there. If not there, then maybe he will of course play the Olympiad. Hans equalized his game. Really, did he? Oh yeah, he has actually. But okay, even the draw doesn't help us, I think, because Vokidov has already drawn. So even if this is a draw or Madavinov wins or draws or loses, I think Arjun cannot win the event. By the way, time बराबर हो चुका है chat. So 12 minutes for Nicholas now. चलो भाई, इतना time नहीं है. Yes, now he's playing World Rapid and Blitz. Yes, he's playing that one. Plug playing Chennai GM. It doesn't seem like it right now. Because Plug ने कभी खेला नहीं है, right? Plug has never played Chennai Grandmasters. So maybe there's like a reason why he doesn't play. I don't know exactly. भाई मैं जब से मुंबई शिफ्ट हुआ हूं ना, there is one thing I really love and that's श्रीखंड. भाई क्या मस्त स्वीट डिश है यार. ओह, can't have like enough of it. Like it's so tasty. तो जब भी मौका मिलता है, जब भी कोई मेरे यहाँ पे आता है, like you know, like मैं मुंबई से, तो मैं कहता हूँ भाई श्रीखंड लेके आना यार. So tasty man. Okay, meanwhile, still no move from Nico. 11 minutes रह गए हैं. He's fallen below Arjun's clock. Why, this is all going south for Nicholas now. She can truly really? Why, as it's कितना tasty है भाई. Ian और Nodirbek में से कोई भी जीत सकता है. That's true. I think they can still win it. They're still playing. So it's still a possibility, especially because the position is kind of crazy. Yeah, look at this position: the queen on h1, king on f2. Likely going to be a draw, but you never know. With the kings kind of being very awkward, so could end either way. I think we stick to Arjun because I think आज की game में ना, chat final round, all the games are likely going to end in a draw because Vidit has already drawn. Nodirbek's game has been a draw. Hans and Mukidin is equal. Shaq and Nepo is equal. So the only guy to win today might just be Arjun. Come on, come on. Garam, puri or chapati chicken is awesome. Oh wow, I'll try it here. Look at Namedyarov's time. He's 22 minutes, man. That's nothing compared to what these guys have. Okay. Still no moves. 9.5 minutes. Why? Yeah, he's going to lose on the clock like this. He's going to lose on the clock because still 10 more moves to go for him, actually. He has less than a minute to move. Come on. We don't want to see Nicholas crumble. We want to see a battle till the very end. How would you suggest a 1600 FIDE to improve? Yeah, I think it's like asking anybody, yeah, how would you improve it? You have to kind of work on your chess, work on different parts of your chess. Openings pe kaam karo, middle game pe kaam karo, end game pe kaam karo, calculation tactics pe kaam karo. It will take time. It doesn't show results instantly. And I think people give up hope very quickly, but it takes time. So if you start working today, you will likely see the results after a few months. Chess is hard to improve at, actually. It's not easy. In fact, once you start working on chess, you might see a decrease in your rating initially because you're changing something, right? So, and once you start losing a few games, you panic, okay, I'm doing something wrong. But sometimes it just takes time. It has a learning curve, which is quite unique. Can Arjun win this event? Unfortunately, not Utkarsh Bhai. I think he'll miss it by half a point. He's probably missing. Yes, bhai, she is. So there's any book for tactical? I think tactics ke liye pata hai. The world has changed. You don't necessarily even need a book. Just go to Puzzle Rush, solve it online, solve it over the board, man. Doesn't matter. Like just go to Chesscom puzzles and solve it. Like nowadays online, you have like a database of puzzles. Yeah, you don't even need any book. Come on. Okay, Arjun, back at the board. 7 minutes and a few seconds for Nicholas now. He can't just keep thinking. He has to play. Why is he not playing? I mean, maybe he thinks, okay, if I make a mistake here, the game is over anyway, so might as well take a calculated decision. But I mean, when he played Queen A3, he took like less than 2 minutes. And Bishop D4 should have been an automatic move. Maybe he thought Bishop D4, there's C5, which is great. And it's not great actually, because once you play C5, put the bishop back, and then D5 is also hanging. Can Nico play Rook D8? He can, but what's the point of Rook D8? You just Rook D8 play, you can never really have counterplay anymore. And Rook on D8 is not really doing anything. I can just play E6 and then F5. We are too many in the chat to be handled by one person. Don't underestimate the power of Sahil Chiku. We can handle people. We're thinking for 13 minutes. Yeah, he's used up 13 minutes for this move. This is too much. Why not queen takes it? By घर में आग लगी है, तुम पेप्सी पी रहे हो भाई, ऐसे थोड़ी चलेगा यार काम. वहां किंग पे साइड में मेट होने वाली है, तुम प्यादे मार रहे हो. आई मीन, यू कैन डू इट, बट इट्स रिस्की. Are chess books required, relevant, or any level of player chooses online courses? I think chess books were the only source of knowledge for most players earlier. Nowadays, you have alternatives. For me, the easiest way to learn for me has been chess courses, because personal coaching is very expensive. And once you reach like even my level, yeah, 2200 ke aspas FIDE, like it gets very exponentially expensive. It just doesn't make sense to get coaching personally sometimes. So I would say for somebody who's below 2000, I think the best way to learn is courses. That's how I got to 2200, because courses are made with a lot of effort, right? Like a player cannot just make a course and not research a lot of work for a lot of, like it requires a lot of work to put out a course, because you know it will only make money if you've given them the best knowledge, right? So otherwise word of mouth se phalega, ye course acha hai, more people will buy it, and it's good money for the coach as well. So they'll put in a lot of effort. That's why courses is like a curated, structured way to learn a particular part of chess, a portion of chess, chahe openings ho, middle games, end games, tactics, whatever it is. So that's the best way, and it's also economical compared to personal coaching. So courses for me is the best way to learn. Books, of course, are great, are cheaper as well, but books are not that easy because it requires a lot of effort from you, I think. So maybe a mix of courses and books is the best way forward for somebody who doesn't have the resources to kind of take personal coaching. Discuss expensive top chess player. Oof. See, I wouldn't even know exactly, honestly, because I have not been like a top player, but I can tell you the rough expenses. I would not be shocked if Gukesh ke expenses, for example, on his chess throughout the year would cross like 2 to 3 crores, 4 crores aram se. Like I would not be shocked. For somebody like Nihal, let's say, who doesn't have the same sponsors, even for him, the cost at least I would imagine is like 50 lakhs to 1 crore easily, like easily. So I would say it takes a lot of money to be a top chess player. And even for some youngster, like at least they have the money. Yeah? These guys already have the money. For somebody who's up and coming, like who's a youngster kid who's trying to improve. For example, if I wanted to be GM बनने में मुझे कम से कम नहीं तो would take me at least 2 to 3 years of full effort plus at least 1 crore is my guess. It's my understanding of at least how much money and time it would take. So it just doesn't make sense. For if I had to become an IM, maybe it would take like 1 year and like 30-40 lakhs. But again, like I don't even see the point in that. So again, it's very expensive. Top chess is very, very expensive. Traveling and coaching are the two expenses. Now, at the top level, your traveling expenses are covered because you get invites, but coaching is still not covered. So you are kind of spending all on your own money. Gukesh, for example, 4 seconds, they have to be paid handsomely, right? So it takes a lot of money, I think, out of his pocket. And of course, he will make some money back through sponsorships and prize money, but it's very tough. For Devashali, it's maybe, I mean, again, the invites are covered, but coaching wise, it will be a lot. For example, Divya जो 3 crore रुपए जीते थे from the government, I would not be shocked if most of it is already spent on coaching, like a lot. Maybe not as much, I think, because again, it depends, right? Because Divya and Vaishali have the option of getting, like I say, some 2600 who's a very strong player. Because maybe women's section may the competition has not reached the same as open section, so it's still maybe less costly to kind of get coaching for them, but it will still be very high because women's prize money is also not that high, right? So it still creates the same problem. By the way, Queen B2 played. Again, the plan is to reach H2. It's just too far fetched. I don't see it happening. Why not just E6? Let's continue our plan. Yeah, nothing changes. E6 very strong. By the way, if F5, just trying to understand if this is a problem, I think black apparently has C5. That's the trap he set up. Because now if I take, there is knight takes C5, and this is actually winning for black. So Arjun has to be careful. He cannot push F5 first. He first has to push E6. Very important. Interesting. Seeing some interesting comments there. Makes me wonder ये किसी के alt account तो नहीं है. So obviously becoming a coach instead of a player, kidding. No, I mean, of course, like if not a top player, then a coach makes sense because it does pay well. But okay, you should also love coaching. Yeah, otherwise it's not going to work out for you, I think. Not like I personally not a big fan of coaching individually, at least. It's not my style. F5 looks kind of natural. I agree. It does look very natural. So it's a potential mistake Arjun could make. But of course, he will not make it. Yeah, he's not going to let this go. Meanwhile, I'm kind of wondering what to do now from Arjun's perspective. Because it's like his time is also a reason to worry, because again, 9 minutes, 9 moves is not something to boast about. And फिलहाल के लिए ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई मतलब Arjun is winning, but it's still a limited number of choices he has. So E6 would be the cleanest. And if let's say C5 now, I mean, there's nothing to attack. I can just pick up the pawn. And it's a free pawn now. So black counterplay, I think, will come from rook a8, rook a2, queen h2 ideas. But jaise rook a8 aega, I can just play one move, queen e2. And once you move the queen, I'll push f5. So it's easy to handle for e6 player, by the way. Great move, rook a8. And now queen e2, winning move for Arjun. Will he find it? Let's see. Queen e2. He played something. Wait, he played something. What did he play? I don't see the move. Has he played something like... Wait, I don't see the f pawn. It's on f4. I played c4. Okay, also a nice move, actually, because queen is now attacked. Also a very, very smart move by Arjun, actually. So now the queen has to move, and the queen doesn't really have a square on the second rank where it can move. जहां पे वो रुक को सपोर्ट करके h2 पे आ सके. So very smart move by Arjun. Now he can even take on d5, push f5, and it's completely winning. Yeah, takes on c4. Just take back. Queen d2 he does get though. That is a square. That's something I didn't see. But okay, queen c4, queen d2. Is it still a reason to worry? It doesn't seem like it. How do people like these get invited to strong events while many don't get? I think it depends. Of course, your rating is the number one reason why you might get an invite. Imagine somebody who's at 2780, yeah? Like if you are going to get invites, it doesn't matter. Like if you're at 2775 world top 10, you will get invites. Because organizers also have sponsors, and those sponsors have requirements that we want certain viewership, we want certain interest in the event, we want to see Magnus in our hometown, for example. So वो requirements होती हैं, and they have to meet them. And if you're outside of the world top 10 or 20, then the invites get trickier. Then it depends whether an event is in a hometown. For example, like Zagreb mein hai, so Croatia number 1 will automatically play, right? Like we'll have Ivan Saric play, even if he's not in the world top 50. So it really depends on opportunities. So the ideal situation to be for a chess player is either in the world top 20 or number 1 in your country. I think these two things probably give you the most amount of opportunities. For example, Nicholas here, I think is Greece number 1. Now, even if Greece number 1 is not at the same level as, let's say, somebody who's 2800, he's still going to get a lot of invites, a lot of opportunities. Also, like, you know, a lot of, I want to frame it the correct way, like a lot of, awareness about him in their own country, because they are the best at something. So I think उन दोनों से एक चीज होना बहुत जरूरी है. Either you're in the world top 10 or you are number one in your country. I think that really helps. So Arjun playing on board three make any psychological, or I think board three is great. I like Arjun board three because he will win a bunch of events, I mean, a lot of games actually. Um, do you think women's 2500 is same as 2500? I would say women's 2500 sometimes can be lower, like they can be underrated, because women's events mein na, like they're much stronger. If you look at many top women players, once they like play these women's events, like they can lose a bunch of rating and then they play some open events again. So I would say it can be lower also, but it will depend from player to player, I think. On average, 2500 means 2500. I don't think it creates a difference. By the way, A4 played best move on the board. Are you planning another course? I'm thinking to pick the London stuff maybe. I think you'll find it on my membership on my channel. I think London is my favorite opening. I might do some course later, but London is my favorite and I understand the best. And I feel like a practical player ke liye is the best opening. So maybe at some other point I might do some other, like Sicilian Defense Night Off is one opening I really love. Would love to do it at some point, but फिलहाल के लिए London is the best. And bhai, हो गया भाई काम. So Nico tries to bring the knight into the game. I think he wants to play knight d5, knight e3, at least create some attacking chances. But white's pawns are just too fast. Yeah, they're just too fast. Now apparently queen c5 is one of the best moves. Idea I think is queen e5, queen g7 mate. So it's very deadly. I mean, yeah, Nico के पास 3 मिनट है भाई 5 मूव खेलने के लिए. This is very tough. Chat, question to you. Do you think this game will last 40 moves or do you think this ends in the next 5 moves? 5 move पड़े हैं 40 move तक. Do you think this will last? I think it will last to the 80 or 40th move, but by then Nico's advantage might have, been worse. I think Arjun will be completely winning. If he's not already. Okay, what can Arjun do now? So queen c5. Okay, I play knight d5. Let's say I block this path. Well, it's getting a bit tricky. How do I get to e5 now? E7, there might be some rook. Yeah, it's still not clear. How does Arjun finish off Nico? There's no final blow. Arjun has 7 minutes. Looks at the clock. It will. Ends under 40. Ends. This match is almost dead, lost, no way to make progress. I think it's lost, but I don't see the final blow, like the finishing blow. Hota na WWE mein, there's this final attack for every participant. Like वो मुझे नहीं दिख रहा अर्जुन का अभी. There is no stone cold driver, क्या बोलते थे उसको, whatever, Batista bomb right now for Arjun, because the knight kind of blocks the path. And yeah, black is going to play rook e8, pressure this pawn. But let's see, what does he play? Yeah, white king is open. Luckily for the bishop pair, yeah, they are controlling a bunch of squares. So it's not easy for black to attack. Now, Akili queen क्या ही करेगी भाई? Like, she needs support. Her army is, kind of passive. Indian chalu hai bhai. Of course, I think I'm looking at it from the practical perspective. Of course, I can look at engine lines, but in this case, I think with less time on the clock, right? That's an important factor. Arjun doesn't have time to go very deep into the position. So he's going to try to look for the simple choices here. Practicality matters in a chess game. Come on, Arjun, what's the easiest way? Piled, yeah. Hands game into one move territory of the Madaminov champion. I agree, man. I think Madaminov I think he's impressed us all, yeah? What a guy. F5, by the way, feels natural. You want to play F6, but there is knight G8. And at least the game goes on. He played Bishop C5, one of the best moves, by the way. One of the best moves played. And the question is, what happens on knight D5 now? That's my question to Arjun. Let's say black plays knight d5, which I think Nico likely will. What is his next move? For example, knight d5. If you continue with f5, for example, you can see the bar go down because knight is controlling both these squares. Now, simple h6, giving like some breathing space for the black king, and knight d3 is incoming. And this could be a draw. Look at this, already a draw, by the way, equal valuation by the computer. So I think going back, he has to be a bit careful here, Arjun. One wrong move and he could lose the. Yeah, if the queen could go to e5, that would be magical, man. But it can't move like a knight. At least not. At least not yet. I don't think Nico resigns this yet, man. The game is a bit more interesting than we thought initially. What can he do now? 6 minutes versus 1 minute 57 seconds for Nico. Now he's under serious time pressure. I think he should just play knight d5 quickly. Knight g8 might feel also okay, but come on, yeah, you can't hope to hold a game with knight g8. You have to go for the active choice. Salve, क्या मैं शादी कर लूं? Give your review. Why शादी is great. Get married, brother, but find the partner carefully. I think we hurry about marriage sometimes, and I think ending up with the wrong partner is 100 times worse than marrying somebody. But ending up with the right partner is 100 times better than not marrying. So I think depends. If Arjun wins, he will gain decent amount of points. He's lost around 6 points in this tournament. He will gain majority of them back. Vidit drew ages ago, agreed. And now this is the question. Final moments, 1 minute, and he fire. Chat, did you see? Bishop f2 was the only move, and Arjun found it in 1 second. 1 second he took. Why, Sahab? भाई क्या बनता है अर्जुन एरिगेसी? Oh, and that is a blunder by Nico, as expected in time pressure. Now, chat, Arjun can just pick up the queen. Knight takes c3, and the bishops and the pawns are enough. These two pawns combined with the bishop pair is enough to win. For example, knight b5, now e7, ये pawn जा रहा है, ये pawn जा रहा है, king g8, bishop c4 check doesn't even allow the king to move forward. So knight b5 doesn't work. King g8 पहले खेलना पड़ेगा. Now a6, let's say king f8, आता है king यहाँ पे. And now f5, very important. Yeah, this is lost. Bishop c check is deadly, by the way. This is gone, chat. Arjun can now just take, and that should be winning. He can also pull the queen back. That should also be winning. But it's a committal decision, though, queen trade. Will Arjun do it? Practically, this is not a bad choice by Nico, maybe, because Arjun also has less time. And if Arjun is not completely sure that the endgame is winning, he might refrain from trading the queens. And then the queen has to go to a passive square and black gains some counter-attacking chances. So maybe practically not a bad move, even though objectively it's a mistake. Hands game queen sack. अरे बाप रे, ये देखो भाई हैंड्स गेम में क्या हुआ. दिस वाज द पोजीशन. क्वीन e4, rook e8. भाई क्वीन सैक तो नहीं है, क्वीन h7 आ रहा है. Queen h7 check. King f8, I'm guessing. Oh, king f8, rook f3 aa raha hai, so that's lost. You have to play king f7 then. Wait, what? Acha, oh, ye defended hi nahi hai, I forgot. Oh, my bad, sorry. I didn't realize the queen is not defending. Wait, what? It's a rook hai beech mein. Queen h7, king h7, queen sack. Rook takes d7, double check. King h8, rook c7, rook e1 check, and this is a draw. Okay, that's very simple now. I completely forgot the queen is not defended. Okay, hilarious actually. Nice. nice. So this is like he didn't play it, he blundered. Hans Niemann has blundered. And what a lucky break for Madaminov. He gets a winning position. Okay, it's not over just yet, but right now he gets a winning position and he could win the event now. Wow. Bhai Sahab, Madaminov is going to win UzChess. ahead of biggies like Abdustaraf Nodirbek, Arjun Erigasi, Mamidyarov, Nepo. I mean, सबके आगे जीतते हुए वो Hans Niemann. Wow. Yeah, this is objectively lost now, I think. Wait, he pulls the queen back. What? Hans Niemann just put the queen back. He just put the queen back. He realized it's a mistake. He realized Black's plan, I think. Wow. Why chess has spoken for itself, and it's not enough this time. Chad, after queen g6, rook e1 check, king g2, black's only move, but a very logical move is c5. Threat is bishop c6 check, winning the game. And if you play bishop d5, blocking this, black can just play queen e5. And who's the one attacking? The e8 square is covered, and there is no attack for white actually. With queen e8, bishop e8 to come, the queen will also have to move. And Hans Niemann is losing with these pawns. He had a draw, he went for the win, and now he's losing. Queen f7 पे there is queen e8 by the way, not allowing queen g8 mate. Very important. What a move. And इसके साथ ही by the way एक और draw हो चुका है chat. Mamidyarov and Ian Apache have drawn. That's a repetition by the way, threefold repetition. So the only two games remaining are Madaminov beating Hans and Arjun beating Nicholas. By the way, we have moves. He did not trade queens. And look at this. Nicholas had a golden opportunity with knight f6 to strike back in the game. He also misses it. Wow. And Arjun this time does not repeat the mistake and gets a winning position. Now Arjun is completely winning. Amazing. And now they've reached the 40th move. So Nico gets time, but this time cannot be utilized well because it's just lost. Wow. And chat now, I think King G8, for example, is not even as strong because I can be c5. The king can't even approach. Knight d5 khelna padega. And now a6. I'll push this pawn to a7, push this pawn to f5, bring the king up all the way. Like I would win this game against like Sehaj Bhai easily. Like this is so bad. Plus 5.5 well. Like this is just gone. Arjun is not in good shape. Why he is in good shape? Yeah, I think of course he was also under time pressure. Rook a5 followed by bishop. Asha, you mean why not rook a5 here? I think it's very interesting because rook a5 feels like a decent move because there is no back rank issues. And if e7, I can put the rook back. But the problem is there is bishop e1. You can't defend because bishop. And if rook a here, then e7. And the rook cannot stop both the things. He cannot stop the pawn and defend the knight. By the way, he's played knight d5 and now just a6. Yeah, just continue on your path. Nothing changes. Arjun about to win in the next 10-15 minutes chat. I thought I was at 3. Bhai, आज सुबह था भाई. आज सुबह था chat. The final day often in many top events starts early. And the broadcast actually started at 11:45. The games began and we started 15 minutes late. So 12 बजे हम लोग live आ गए थे with my commentary and of course 11:45 the cams were there. And the a6 played. And knight c7 to try and get this pawn, then e7. And again, I will not let you take that pawn. And if bishop आराम से जो बैठेगा ना यहाँ पे, oh ho, defending this pawn, bhai, beautiful. Next tournament for us will be chat the Bullet Chess Championship. I'm going to tell you the exact dates. Give me just 1 second ताकि कोई, chat को पता हो कब आना है. And it's going to be an exciting event because bullet chess में कितना मजा आता है भाई, blunder पे blunder, like it's so much fun to watch. We have Nihal Sareen, by the way, joining us for that event. We'll also have Arjun Erigesi also playing that event. So crazy tournament hoga. And the dates for that event are I'm checking the schedule. दिख नहीं रहा है for some reason. Yes, I have it. So I think it is 20. Wait, why don't I see it? I have to search it on the internal page. Give me a second. मिल गया. So Bullets Championship, it's starting from June 24th. Yes, 24th, 25, 26, 27. So 4 दिन का है. And it's going to be exciting because 2 Indians playing. Overall, I think कितने players है इसमें? I think 8 है कि 16 है, something like that. I think 16 है भाई. Anyways, so बड़ा मजा आएगा. 2 Indian confirmed है already. Maybe there are others as well who qualify, but at least 2 Indians तो है. It's um, Arjun and Nihal. And Firuza, of course, will be the favorite. Yeah, I think he will be the clear favorite for the event. But I think Nihal has chances this time. He has chances this time. अभी 8 और प्लेयर क्वालिफाई करने हैं चैट. That will be via planes. So you can also play the Bullet Chess Championship technically if you qualify via the planes. I think everybody is possible. They can play. It's on 22nd को बहुत सारे planes होंगे. You can participate in those planes and technically qualify for the Bullet Chess Championship. Check कर लेना भाई. What if Arjun wins a second or third position? I mean, he can win third. He can all second. I don't think he can win because Madamino is not going to lose this. He'll at least draw. So third position he can win and likely will actually. Underdogs winning, Madamino also winning. But itna underdogs itna is not like not common, right? I mean, Madamino is like the lowest seed of the event. Is 200 points lower rated than Nodirbek, for example. Like it's very rare because Vaishali, for example, at the candidates was the lowest seed, but she was like 70 points below, like 60 points below the top seed or something like that. But 200 points below Jitna is like an exceptional case, I think. Come on, Nicholas bhai. अभी 27 मिनट दिए हैं, जरूरी नहीं है कि सारे यूज करने हैं. I mean, A6 अर्जुन ने खेल दिया है, so waiting for. He is underrated. Oh yeah, yeah. You guessed so. Yeah, he's underrated. Wow, that's a crazy prediction. Of course, he's underrated. I know, but still, it's crazy. Kitna underrated is the bigger question. Because current forms ke base to like I would guess he's like 100 points at least. Yeah, underrated. Why is he not resigning? I think because I think he feels that game में थोड़ा मसाला pending है, and he's trying to think of a trick. Yeah, essentially, I feel like he's trying to think of a trick. Maybe there's some trap he can set in certain variations. Although objectively, his preliminary calculation must have told him that the game is lost. You cannot play. So you want to play a7, bishop a6, bishop b7. That's fair. But what if I play knight c7? Like you can't go bishop a6 anymore. So it will take some calculation, I think, from both the players. For example, now knight c7 ke baad, this pawn is also attacked. So let's say you play e7. I still can't take this because if you take, you can't capture back because it is back rank mates. The back rank also kind of causing issues here. They can't see well, but yeah, but I think Arjun understands this is winning. Like this is winning because first of all, black's no counterplay. But if the king was here, I think the evaluation would be quite different, right? Because then the e6 pawn is weak. The bishop doesn't have the c5 square. So I think c6 move kheli thi na. I think this move c6 after Arjun's queen d3 was a big mistake because now black's counterplay basically ended. In the final position, you can see already how अगर ये square black control में होता, it would have been a different story altogether. Yeah, white is exchange down, but it doesn't matter because count the number of pawns. Yeah, 3 pawns for black, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for white. So it's material wise completely equal. Still no moves by Nico. He's still thinking. Quite an interesting tournament chat coming to an end. And I think बड़ा मजा आया cover करके. Performance 2802. Wow. Is this like for Madaminov? Does it count the current win? Like he wins today as well? Nico is thinking. Hans is losing. Yes, we saw that one, I think. C5 on the board, by the way. Hans is completely lost. Bishop C6, Queen E5, and he can resign. So his king is, if not at least as weak as the black king. So this is gone. Hans ने overextend किया, and now he's gonna lose, and Madamino gonna win the event. क्या party करेंगे यार आज सिंदारो और Madamino भैया? TP Singh went second, I know. Tied first technically. आज ड्रॉ हुआ तो प्लीज टाई ब्रेक करना. क्या टाई ब्रेक बिटवीन, आई मीन मदरमीनो इज गोना विन सो दे वुड बी टाई ब्रेक, बट मदरमीनो और वोकी का टाई ब्रेक होता भी उसमें क्या मजा? कोई इंडियन होता तो मजा आता ना भाई. लाइक अगर अर्जुन वाज इज पार्ट ऑफ इट देन इट मेक सेंस, बट ऐसे भी होगा नहीं टाई ब्रेक. आई थिंक मदरमीनो इज गोना विन. Arjun is not being the third allegations, third Tata Steel Blitz, third World Rapid, third here. I mean, we know Arjun, I think, sometimes struggles to deliver the final blow in major events. We know that. His board number at the Olympiad was also third. So 3 numbers से थोड़ा वो लगाव तो है. But I think it's वही मैंने कहा ना, वो mental block है. एक बार when he wins one event, like any event anywhere in the world, I think Jerusalem Masters was not at the same level though. I know Ishii was playing and it was still very strong, but not at the same level of other events. Also, I think the time control was different there. Wasn't like proper classical chess. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong though. He needs to win one major, like huge super tournament, and then वो mental unblock हो जाएगा उनका वो कि भाई I can do this, and then he's going to do it again and again and again back to back. His jersey number is also 3. Yeah, you see it. Yeah, I mean कुछ तो है correlation. 2003 born. अरे बाप रे क्या बात कर रहे हो? Really? Is it on 3 born भाई? बहुत coincidence हो रहे हैं यार. Arjun Erigaisi birthday. Yeah. And he's 3rd September born. Oh my God, what? भाई 3rd September को born हुआ है वो 2003 में. Then there seems to be some correlation with this number 3. Wow. Very interesting. कुछ तो सीख रहे हैं हम न्यूरोलॉजी के बारे में आज. But okay, I mean, let's give it some time, Chad. Let's give it some time. थ्री को ज्यादा ही प्यार है. अरे 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 इतना डीप मत जाओ यार. So meanwhile, Nico Bai is still thinking. I think he's been thinking for what? I don't think he's thinking for 3 minutes. I think he's thinking for like at least 10 minutes plus. And his body language kind of shows you. I think he's given up. He knows it's over. But he played well in this event actually. Three points overall. Defeated Hans. Drew against Nepo and Yakubov. Okay, he would not be very happy about the win against Nodirbek, but at least he had a draw there in hand. Otherwise, thanks for super chat. W commentaries, what's all I enjoyed. Look forward to the bullet champion. Thanks a lot, super chat, for the kind words. You know, if you want to keep following us, follow us on Chesscom India on Instagram and YouTube. I think short form content हम बहुत डालते हैं. You can also follow me on my YouTube and Instagram. भाई वहाँ पे भी आ सकते हो. I think action daily मिलेगा. Like even though we cover events, I think महीने में 1-2 बार on average. Like it's a couple of weeks out of 30 days. I think the action keeps on coming because कुछ ना कुछ update चलती रहती है chess के ecosystem में. I wish we could do the world like if I had a choice, I would do that stream before even UzChess, yaar, random by. But we don't have the cameras. Without cameras, it will be the most boring stream of all time. We can't see anything. निको भाई एक फिलोसफी वाले मोड में चले गए अभी ऐसा लग रहा है. What is life? I think he stopped thinking about chess now because he knows it's over actually. And he'll become third Indian to win world championship, brother. इतना तो अभी अब हम पहुंचे भी नहीं वहां तक. Still waiting for Nico to play his move. थर्ड इंडियन for 2000 I will after Vishistar and Anish. भाई Anish is not Indian. ये तो तुम जुगाड़ करके तुम थर्ड नंबर ला रहे हो. His highest rank I think is world number 3 though. I think so. Arjun exercises as much as he can. I agree. अर्जुन भाई मतलब कुछ हो ना हो गेम में कुछ हो ना हो लाइक 10 के स्टेप्स एलिगेशंस तो उन पे कोई ढाल नहीं सकता कि भाई एक्सरसाइज नहीं करते. दैट्स समथिंग ही टेक्स केयर ऑफ एवरी सिंगल टाइम. कम ऑन कम ऑन. अज्जू भाई वॉक करते हुए he has no stress. 34 minutes winning position, a flight back home tomorrow. And chat also, as you pointed out, of course बुलेट चेस चैंपियनशिप है. उसके बाद we also have ग्रैंड चेस टूर जहाँ पे प्रग एंड गुकेश will be back for Blitz and Rapid. Now, उस event में I think we also have simultaneously the India Rising event, जिसमें we'll see Vidit and Benjamin Borg fight for the EWC spot. That's going to be a production live from Mumbai. उसके बाद we're going to have Chennai GM. उसके बाद we're going to have EWC. EWC का पता नहीं अभी क्या situation है, but okay, that's also an event to cover. I mean, crazy event. उसके बाद of course we have GCL. उसके बाद of course we have the Olympiad. Like this year is packed. Why Arjun is not converting rap supertons even though performing good? I think वही ना उसको mental block है. Like whenever he's about to win an event, he fumbles. Last moment पे he fumbles. यहाँ पे does not the case. यहाँ पे I think he fumbled early in a game or two. But I think in most events where he's doing very well, he fumbles in the last minute possible. Last round में he fumbles sometimes. Crash Arjun for finishing third and bullet anyway. That would be crazy that happens though. Arjun will play winner of this event for number 1 spot. हाँ अर्जुन को एक्स्ट्रा पर्क्स मिल रहे हैं फॉर गुड हैंड राइटिंग यार. नीको भाई सोच क्या रहे यार, चल दो यार भाई, पनवेल निकलना है. उफ अर्जुन भाई ने इतने स्टेप्स. एक कमेंट्री भी वॉक करते करते होनी चाहिए. मेरे भी कितने स्टेप्स आते कमेंट्री करते करते यार. इमेजिन करो अगर 5 घंटे की स्ट्रीम है यार. चैट दैट्स अ गुड पॉइंट. मे बी आई शुड हैव अ स्टैंडिंग डेस्क. अगर 5 घंटे की स्ट्रीम है और मैं 5 घंटा वॉक करता रहूं, कितने स्टेप्स जाएंगे भाई 5 घंटे को? बताएगा मुझे भाई. हाउ मेनी स्टेप्स डू यू थिंक आई कैन वॉक इन 5 hours if I'm walking slowly while commentating? Why? Nice idea. I think I played best move. Unfortunately for Nico, even this is not enough to create real counterplay. Arjun will quickly play e7 or a7. I think e7 looks cleaner. 25k, right? I would assume कि 1 घंटे में at least, because I'll be walking slowly, at least 3 to 4k steps तो होने चाहिए 1 घंटे में. And अगर 4k भी किए तो 5 घंटे में सीधा 20,000 तो हो ही गए. बढ़िया है भाई, मतलब तो क्रेजी है. नाइस आइडिया, यही करता हूँ मैं. ओ भाई इज बेस्ट मूव प्लेड. अब निको भाई उठ गए यार. निको भाई कह रहे हैं यार आखिरी राउंड है, थोड़े स्नैक्स तो खा लूं. ऐसा होता है बाय द वे, यू नो, लाइक आई डोंट नो इफ यू हैव डन दिस, बट कभी आप कहीं गए हो घूमने या कभी किसी काम के लिए भी गए हो एंड फाइनल दिन है एंड ये थिंकिंग आज तो ब्रेकफास्ट करना चाहिए बिकॉज यू नो आखिरी दिन में बुफे में खाना खा के जाता हूँ, कुछ तो टेस्टी होगा. ओके ही इज बैक. King, but I have bishop c4 check. I don't know what that does. Just check. Bishop c4 check, forcing knight d5. And then you can kind of play a7, bishop bishop a6, bishop b7 blank. So this is just gone. And to defend this pawn, I can put the bishop on c5. So ये दोनों bishops यहाँ आएंगे and then a7. Yep, Nihal is qualified with EWC World Cup. EWC is qualified too, and EWC के लिए Nihal is the one from India who's qualified, right? I don't think there's anybody else so far. Arjun also has a good chance somehow, but also Vidit has a good chance. But I think Nihal is the one who's done so far. Arvind also has qualified. Yes, Arvind also has got चार player के पास chance है अच्छा. 95. Let's go Bishop C5 now, or A7 also works. Arjun is thinking. I feel like it's more of a confirmation thing. He's about to play. Look at his hand. Yeah, his body language is tilted forward. He's about to play that move in the next 10, 20 seconds. He's about to play, about to play. Do you still win the Olympiad or Arvind? Of course, yeah. I think I'm nobody to choose the team actually, and nobody is. It's all based on ratings. And if Vidit fulfills the number of games, then he automatically enters the team. If he's not in form in the initial rounds, then of course people will have the alternate play the fourth on the fourth board. But of course, he will also take the Olympiad seriously, right? Because Olympiad is a lot of pressure, chat, because it's a national kind of national event, right? A team event. If you don't perform well, you're not just letting yourself down, you are letting the team down, and you're letting the nation down as a feel होता है एक player को, because it's a very patriotic event. So I think Vidit will take it very, very seriously, and everybody else will take it very seriously. Okay, A7 played. Now, King F7 should be automatic, and then Bishop C5 would defend the pawn. Khatam. हो गया. So let's play Bishop C5. Okay, King F7, Bishop C5. Let's say I just wait, yeah, King E8 or whatever. Now I think your plan, somebody chat mentioned, right? Bishop A6, Bishop B7 should be winning. Or even just, I'm just thinking, yeah, so let's say if I just take this, and bring the king. That's also winning. Easy, easy. I will pick up this pawn first. Then I will push these pawns, create f6, king e6, and f7 mate. By pawn se mate karenge, by something like this. Let's say d4, king e2, king f7, king d3, king e8, king d4, king f7, king e5, king e8, and now f5. ये ऐसे करके आराम से भाई, आराम से. Like here, h5, f6, takes, h4, and f7. ऐसा कुछ मेट करेंगे भाई यहाँ पे. King f7 played. On the board. And now what does Nico do? Because I'll tell you how bad it is. The best move for black is rook h, which has zero sense in the position actually, like makes no sense whatsoever. So I think Nico could also resign in this game. Thing for white is winning. Bishop a6, bishop b7 is a winning move. Bishop d5 and king moving up is a winning move, winning plan. So both work. Okay, king e6. So he wants to take with the king maybe. But okay, I have f5 check at the very least, but I can just go bishop a6 again. I still don't see how you're stopping, losing the rook for a pawn. Bishop a6 should be winning. Great game by Arjun overall. Yeah, he's about to play. Plays it, yeah, he's done it. He's done it. And now, of course, black will win this pawn. So knight e7, for example. Bishop b7, rook a7, this 7, and this is just a piece up, yeah? So very simple way. I think Nicholas will resign here. He will not play this pawn because barabar pawn hai. It's not even like he has a pawn or a couple of pawns for the piece. It's completely done. So he'll just resign after bishop b7. He might even resign right now. That's it, chat. This is gonna be over. Great play by Arjun at the end in the final round. but Arjun was just stronger. Yeah, he's looking into the camera. He's about to resign. Um, फीफा का लाइव व्लॉग ओपी ओपी वाओ फीफा का व्लॉग करना है क्या भाई फीफा वर्ल्ड कप भाई धरती के दूसरे कोने में यार कौन जाएगा will Arjun be in top 3 after win I think so he'll be tied for third place so he won't be the only one but he will be tied for third place I think yeah there it is Arjun Erigasi resigns I think a fair assessment by Nico that there was literally no chance he's going to lose the rook for a pawn and Arjun wins the game. So the only guy to win today on the final day. And I think a very smooth victory at the end. We saw some crazy variations by Nico, but he didn't go for them. And Arjun, I guess he at the end proving a point. And he's seeing some calculation. Actually, I think maybe they are calculating the exact same variations we were discussing in the start of the stream. But overall, Arjun wins, man. Great win for Arjun at the end to finish off the tournament and not win the ideal tournament for him, but at least he'll have positive memories at the end. So overall, a good event. Also, the last game going on chat right now is Hands against Madamino, when Madam is completely winning. +3 valuation. Can just play Queen E6 or check Queen E6. And he's gonna win the game, and he is gonna be the winner of UzChess 2026. Second place में आएंगे Vokidov on 5.5 points. And then third place में आएंगे Arjun, tied with I think it's gonna be what Yan and Mamidyarov. So that's it, chat. That's it. That's UzChess 2026. Bye. Hopefully मजा आया आपको commentary देखने में, event देखने में. Thank you Takesh for coming yesterday for commentating. Thank you to Priyanka and Dushant also for joining during various days. It was glad to have new faces on the panel as well. And thank you Soyavai for the amazing broadcast. अगला इवेंट होगा बुलेट चेस चैंपियनशिप विल बी बैक समवेयर आई थिंक अराउंड 24th of June 22nd of June को playoffs है so any title players watching who want to participate or anybody actually can check out those playoffs on 22nd and chat we're going to see you next on 24th of June for the Bullet Chess Championship. This is goodbye from Chesscom India. Till then, congrats to Arjun for the win on the final day. And I think Vidit, of course, will hopefully have better time management in future events. So thank you, chat. See you soon. Take care and goodbye.